Chao Xing's eyes lit up. Magic energy stones. These weren't just shiny trinkets. This was hard currency in the new world. Mechanical creations, energy towers, advanced structures, all of them required magic energy stones as fuel. Just like elemental crystals, they would be indispensable later. Assam, Andrew, take down all the torches. The two nodded and began pulling the glowing torches from the walls one by one. Magic stone torch +1. Magic stone torch +1. System prompts echoed continuously in Chao Xing's ears. Satisfaction tugged at his lips. Then he spotted something else. The ground was littered with rusting iron rails, and several abandoned mining carts sat off to the side. Abandoned mining cart. White a mining tool of the mole man. Decompose for iron ×8, or repair with iron ×4. Iron rail. White used to lay tracks and accelerate or transportation. Decompose for iron ×4. Chao Xing's eyes gleamed brighter. Good stuff. If he collected enough rails, he could build a track from the mine straight to his territory. The speed of resource transport would skyrocket. Take them all. He stored the lot into his inventory. Obtained magic stone torch ×17. Obtained abandoned mining cart ×3. Obtained iron rail ×15. A profitable harvest. Deeper inside, the clanging of pickaxes echoed. Soon, their torchlight revealed dozens of short, stocky figures with rodent-like heads. Mole Man Miner, level 5. Life, 440 attack, 41 to 45. Skill, Chisel Strike, 110% attack damage with mining pickaxe. Talent, Night Vision. And at the center stood a taller creature, whip in hand. Mole Man Supervisor, level 7. Life, 620 attack, 57 to 59. Skills. Whip. Increases miner work speed by 10% for 5 minutes. Cower. Below 30% HP. Gains 20% move speed and flees. Talent. Night Vision. The supervisor cracked its whip. Snap. They're intruders. Tear them apart. With sharp squeaks, the mole men miners surged forward, pickaxes raised. Roar! Assam, Andrew, and Frostwolf Winter charged ahead, filling the narrow tunnel with their towering figures. Andrew barreled in like a rampaging bear, sending mole men flying. -173. -178. -164. The sheer impact of his blows drained their health before they could recover. Assam followed with precision. His sword flashed. Puff. -437 critical. One mole man dropped instantly, skewered through the skull. Your subject Assam has slain Mole Man LV5. Plus 50 EXP. You gain plus 25 EXP. Meanwhile, Frostwolf Winter mauled another, teeth tearing through fur and bone. Chirp, chirp, chirp. The miners panicked, but before they could retreat, cold light sliced through the darkness. Sarah's twin blades danced, flashing like lightning. Each strike brought with it devastating numbers. -704. -753. -1614 critical. Bodies fell before they even had the chance to scream. Your subject Sarah, Elite Assassin, has slain Mole Man LV6. Plus 60 EXP. You gain plus 30 EXP. The mine floor was soon slick with blood. From a rear, Chao Xing laughed. Huh, that's insane damage. As expected of a level 20 elite assassin, it's like cutting butter. He and Lu Mushue barely needed to lift a finger. Under his command, the monsters melted away. Even the supervisor's eyes widened with fear. Moments later, a white glow surged around Lu Mushue. Her face lit up. Axing, I leveled up. Congratulations. Chao Xing smiled, checking her stats. Survivor. Lu Mushue. Level 3, 20/2000 EXP. Her attributes had grown noticeably. With her shield, armor, and buffs, she was sturdier than many level 7 to 8 beasts. Excited, she said softly, "The system says I enter the top 20 of the leaderboard. Looks like more people are hitting level 3. Chao Xing shook his head. That's fine. Early levels are fast. Later, the grind will slow them down. With our pace, ordinary survivors won't catch up. He checked his own stats. Already level 4, 41% progress. Still first place. Zhou Bo and Fong Long were closing in, but he held the lead. Mushua hesitated, then looked at him seriously. Asking, "Can I fight too?" Chao Xing studied her. She was earnest, and with her current defenses, a level 5 Mole Man miner couldn't easily break her. This was the right time for her to practice. He nodded. "Go on. Just be careful." "All right." She gripped her round shield in one hand, a long sword in the other, and stepped forward. A mole man screeched and lunged at her, shovel swinging. Clang! Clang! Her shield shook under the blows, small numbers popping above her head. -8, -13. But instantly, green healing numbers rose to meet them. +10, +10. The ice healing spell restored her health as fast as it dropped. And so, for the first time, Lu Mushua joined the battlefield. Green healing numbers floated above Lu Mushua's head. Realizing the mole man couldn't break her defenses, she exhaled, recalling the forms Chao Xing had drilled into her. Shy at first, but quickly finding rhythm, she drove her sword forward. -32. The mole man screeched, shovel hammering into her shield and forcing her back 2 steps. She reset her stance and thrust again. Puff! For a few exchanges it looked almost turn-based, shovel, shield, stab, heal. Chao Xing nearly laughed, but for a first fight, her control was solid. A minute later the miners were thinning fast. Chao Xing raised his wand. Frost gathered at the tip, coalescing into 3 crystal spears. Go! They shot forward in a blur. -68, -71, -103 critical. Over 200 HP gone in a breath. Not bad for a level 4 Frost Mage, though still nowhere near Sarah's casual 700 to 800 swing. The last clumps of mole men fell. The supervisor's eyes flashed with fear. It spun and bolted into the dark. A shadow stepped out. Sarah. Her wrist flicked. A black dagger hissed through the air and buried in the supervisor's back. -843. 1 hit. 0 HP. The body crumpled. Good work, Chao Xing called. Sarah's voice was cool. The shadow holy hall guides me forward. Her level's high enough already, he thought. If I can find a tier 2 hard a power, I can push her to 3rd tier, double her threat. Hard to get, though. Later. Cleanup time. Chao Xing crouched to search the fallen. Then a prompt flashed. Humanoid creatures cannot be disassembled. He twitched. Why does the system think I do that? Even so, the loot was decent. Obtained, dry food ×5, chaos book, weak ×1, sticky liquid ×1, iron ingot ×1, iron shovel ×1. Item checks. Dry food, white 1 piece equals 1 food. Chaos book, weak. Random +1 to a 4-dim attribute for a friendly unit. Cannot be used by Lord. Sticky liquid, white unknown alchemy material. Sell to merchants if found. Iron ingot, white disassemble iron ×5. Iron shovel, white ATK 4 to 5, mining tool. Chaos books are great. Stack enough and 1 unit stats will get scary. Shame I can't use them myself. 5 brisk minutes later, total haul. Dry food ×1, 30. Chaos book, wheat ×3. Sticky liquid, white ×31. Iron shovel, white ×27. Iron ingot, white ×4. Mole Man supervisor's long whip, green ×1. The last one was interesting. Mole Man supervisor's long whip, green, special equipment. Quality, fine ATK 13 to 15. Effect whip, lash target plus 10% move speed for 5 minutes. Effect pain amplification, olive oil treated lash increases perceived pain by 50%. Chao Xing blinked. A speed buff. If eternal power converts it, does it go permanent? Only one way to know. Under the team's bewildered stares, he cracked the whip across his own arm. Snap. -7. Hiss. Pain spiked, sharper than the number suggested. Prompt chimed. You gained whip. Move speed plus 10%. 5 minutes. Talent eternal power activated. Whip converted to a permanent buff. It worked. He stared, then grinned. Stack this with Snake Man Tribe Frenzy, and it's plus 30% permanent for me and allies. Massive. Lu Mushiwe and the others exchanged looks. From the outside, their lord had just whipped himself, winced, then lit up like he'd discovered some profound truth. Assam cleared his throat. Lord, what happened? Chao Xing lifted the whip, eyes bright. Assam, may I whip you, please? Assam. Lu Mushiwe. Sarah. Odd request or not, Assam's loyalty was 95. He straightened and nodded. If that is your will. Chao Xing didn't hesitate. The whip whistled. Snap, and the buff stacking began.
Hey everyone, Firescale Audiobooks here. If there's a novel you'd love to hear more of, you can support us on Patreon or Ko-fi. Depending on your tier, I'll make extra parts just for the stories you're most excited about. Usually I can only upload 4 to 5 parts of each novel, but with your support, we can go beyond that. And of course, don't forget to hit subscribe. It helps more than you know.
Assam's resolute face furrowed with pain. Moments later, he also sensed an increase in power within him, his eyes taking on a look of surprise. So, this is the Lord's intention, is it? Truly amazing. Thank you for the whipping, honorable Lord. Assam said respectfully. At this point, Assam, a bit embarrassed, said, Lord, may I perhaps be whipped a few more times? Assam wants to become even stronger. Chao Xing shook his head and said, No, only the first whipping has an effect. Hearing this, Assam nodded regretfully. The people nearby, hearing their conversation, were utterly baffled. Although they understood that Chao Xing's actions might have some purpose, it was certainly peculiar. Chao Xing, realizing they misunderstood, coughed twice, then explained the effect of the whip to them. The group, upon hearing this, had a sudden realization in their eyes. At this time, Chao Xing said, Well then, Andrew, Sarah, let me also bestow blessings upon you. Andrew and Sarah exchanged a glance, then nodded. Chao Xing whipped one by one. Snap, snap. In this deep mine, the sound of the whip cracking echoed. Andrew was fine. With its thick skin, the pain was negligible. Sarah, on the other hand, was slightly trembling. When it was Lu Mushiwe's turn, she looked fearfully at the whip in Chao Xing's hand and said softly, Axing, do I have to? Chao Xing pondered for a moment, then nodded, A 10% increase in move speed is a significant enhancement. And it only takes one whip, just bear with it, and it'll be over. Lu Mushiwe contemplated for a moment, then nodded and said, Chao Xing, without any extra thoughts, whipped directly. Ugh. Lu Mushiwe let out a muffled groan, then pitifully looked at Chao Xing. So painful. Witnessing this scene made Chao Xing recall last night, causing his emotions to surge for a moment. But he quickly calmed down. Chao Xing coughed twice and said, The status has been enhanced. Let's continue moving forward. Andrew and Assam continued to advance forward. In the passage, there was an iron rail extending deeper inside. Chao Xing advanced along the route while collecting the iron rail off the ground. Iron rail +1. Iron rail +1. It wasn't long before Chao Xing had gathered over 100 meters of rail. Even when broken down into iron, it amounted to several hundred pieces. Chao Xing happily thought, just a bit more iron rail, and I can connect that coal mine to my territory, significantly boosting resource collection speed. Just then, a fork appeared ahead in the mine. The left path seemed to lead deeper into the mine, with faint machinery rumblings emanating from within. The right path was sealed with wooden boards, marked with a red X. This seemed to be a restricted area. The group halted, awaiting Chao Xing's decision. After contemplating for a moment, Chao Xing said, Andrew, take down the wooden boards. Let me take a look inside first. Andrew obeyed, swinging his massive bare paw over. Crack! CR crack! The board shattered instantly, revealing the scene inside the mine. Chao Xing saw several collapsed mine carts in front, with some excavated or scattered around. The mole men seemed to have encountered some problem, unable to evacuate in time, leaving everything here. Sarah, emerging from the shadows, suddenly said, I sense a dangerous presence inside. Chao Xing frowned at this. Hearing this from Sarah, a level 20 elite monster, indicated a formidable creature was lurking inside. Chao Xing said, "Sarah, go scout it out." Sarah nodded, then vanished into the shadows. A minute later, Sarah reappeared and said, "Scouting complete. There's a second-order demon creature's lair inside." A second-order demon creature. How strong is it? Sarah pondered for a moment and replied, "It should be on par with my strength." Chao Xing nodded in realization. Being on par with Sarah meant it was a level 20 elite monster. Chao Xing asked, "Confident in handling it?" Sarah considered for a moment, then answered, "With the Lord's bestowed blessing, it shouldn't be a problem. If we then coordinate with these two companions, victory is almost assured." Upon hearing this, Chao Xing felt reassured. "Great, let's head straight inside then." With that said, Andrew and Assam proceeded toward the right mine passage. Chao Xing and Lu Muxue followed behind. He quickly arrived at a collapsed mine cart, with some ore scattered beside it. Chao Xing packed away the cart along with the ore on the ground. Obtained minecart *1, iron or *31, curse metal *7, secret silver or *8, magic energy stone *17, stone *64. Huh, so much secret silver and magic energy stone. Chao Xing was delighted. These were high-grade materials, valuable indeed. Chao Xing began inspecting ahead. Iron ore can be processed at an ore processing plant. One ore can be processed into 5 pieces of iron. Curse metal, a metal fused with the grudge of the dead, can be used to craft certain evil alchemical items. Secret silver ore can be processed at an ore processing plant. 1 secret silver ore can be processed into 3 pieces of mithril. Note, requires a level 3 ore processing plant. Magic energy stone, an energy-containing stone that can power certain special devices. Satisfied, Chao Xing nodded, his eyes on the remaining mine carts. He packed them all up as well. Obtained minecart *1, obtained iron or *42, curse metal *9, secret silver or *7, magic energy stone *19, stone *72. In addition to these, he didn't bypass the iron rails on the ground either. Obtained iron rail *42, obtained abandoned mine cart *7, obtained. Chao Xing followed behind Andrew and Assam, collecting various ores from the ground. Lu Muxue also assisted in gathering. As she picked up items, she exclaimed with a joyful smile, "Axing, so much iron ore and so many secret silver ores." Chao Xing nodded. "This trip is quite a haul. Just these ores and mine carts make it worthwhile." Lu Muxue also displayed the joy of their acquisition. Clearly, the Mole Man mine was a high-level area. At least, with the current survivor strength, it was impossible to get in. But Chao Xing, having 3 generals under his command, could explore this mine for treasures at his level. The haul was indeed abundant. So far, Chao Xing had gathered nearly 200 sections of rail. Thankfully, the survivors, carrying backpack, feature had 20 slots for storage, with similar materials stackable up to 400 units in 1 slot. And larger items like mine carts could be stacked nearly 100 times, occupying just 1 slot. The carrying backpack was quite spacious. The team continued to move forward until they reached the tunnel's depths. The light here dimmed considerably. However, with Chao Xing retrieving a magic energy stone torch from his backpack, the darkness was instantly dispelled. They noticed white spider webs appearing on the ceiling and walls of the mine. The further in they went, the denser the webbing became. Some large webs even filled the passage, blocking the group's path. Meanwhile, an evil, formidable aura rushed toward them. Assam's resolute face furrowed with pain. Moments later, he also sensed an increase in power within him, his eyes taking on a look of surprise. "So, this is the Lord's intention, is it? Truly amazing. Thank you for the whipping, honorable Lord," Assam said respectfully. At this point, Assam, a bit embarrassed, said, "Lord, may I perhaps be whipped a few more times?" Assam wants to become even stronger. Chao Xing shook his head and said, "No, only the first whipping has an effect." Hearing this, Assam nodded regretfully. The people nearby, hearing their conversation, were utterly baffled. Although they understood that Chao Xing's actions might have some purpose, it was certainly peculiar. Chao Xing, realizing they misunderstood, coughed twice, then explained the effect of the whip to them. The group, upon hearing this, had a sudden realization in their eyes. At this time, Chao Xing said, "Well then, Andrew, Sarah, let me also bestow blessings upon you." Andrew and Sarah exchanged a glance, then nodded. Chao Xing whipped one by one. Snap! Snap! In this deep mine, the sound of the whip cracking echoed. Andrew was fine. With its thick skin, the pain was negligible. Sarah, on the other hand, was slightly trembling. When it was Lu Mushue's turn, she looked fearfully at the whip in Chao Xing's hand and said softly, "Axing, do I have to?" Chao Xing pondered for a moment, then nodded, A 10% increase in move speed is a significant enhancement. And it only takes one whip, just bear with it, and it'll be over. Lu Mushue contemplated for a moment, then nodded and said, Chao Xing, without any extra thoughts, whipped directly. Up. Lu Mushue let out a muffled groan, then pitifully looked at Chao Xing. So painful. Witnessing this scene made Chao Xing recall last night, causing his emotions to surge for a moment. But he quickly calmed down. Chao Xing coughed twice and said, "The status has been enhanced. Let's continue moving forward." Andrew and Assam continued to advance forward. In the passage, there was an iron rail extending deeper inside. Chao Xing advanced along the route while collecting the iron rail off the ground. Iron rail +1. Iron rail +1. It wasn't long before Chao Xing had gathered over 100 meters of rail. Even when broken down into iron, it amounted to several hundred pieces. Chao Xing happily thought, just a bit more iron rail, and I can connect that coal mine to my territory, significantly boosting resource collection speed. Just then, a fork appeared ahead in the mine. The left path seemed to lead deeper into the mine, with faint machinery rumblings emanating from within. The right path was sealed with wooden boards, marked with a red X. This seemed to be a restricted area. The group halted, awaiting Chao Xing's decision. After contemplating for a moment, Chao Xing said, "Andrew, take down the wooden boards. Let me take a look inside first." Andrew obeyed, swinging his massive bare paw over. Crack! CR crack! The board shattered instantly, revealing the scene inside the mine. Chao Xing saw several collapsed mine carts in front, with some excavated or scattered around. The mole men seemed to have encountered some problem, unable to evacuate in time, leaving everything here. Sarah, emerging from the shadows, suddenly said, "I sense a dangerous presence inside." Chao Xing frowned at this. Hearing this from Sarah, a level 20 elite monster indicated a formidable creature was lurking inside. Chao Xing said, "Sarah, go scout it out." Sarah nodded, then vanished into the shadows. A minute later, Sarah reappeared and said, "Scouting complete. There's a second-order demon creature's lair inside." A second-order demon creature. How strong is it? Sarah pondered for a moment and replied, "It should be on par with my strength." Chao Xing nodded in realization. Being on par with Sarah meant it was a level 20 elite monster. Chao Xing asked, "Confident in handling it?" Sarah considered for a moment, then answered, "With the Lord's bestowed blessing, it shouldn't be a problem. If we then coordinate with these two companions, victory is almost assured." Upon hearing this, Chao Xing felt reassured. "Great, let's head straight inside then." With that said, Andrew and Assam proceeded toward the right mine passage. Chao Xing and Lu Mushue followed behind. He quickly arrived at a collapsed mine cart, with some or scattered beside it. Chao Xing packed away the cart along with the ore on the ground. Obtain minecart *1, iron or *31, curse metal *7, secret silver or *8, magic energy stone *17, stone *64. Huh, so much secret silver and magic energy stone. Chao Xing was delighted. These were high-grade materials, valuable indeed. Chao Xing began inspecting ahead. Iron ore. can be processed at a processing plant. 1 or can be processed into 5 pieces of iron. Curse metal, a metal fused with the grudge of the dead, can be used to craft certain evil alchemical items. Secret silver ore can be processed at a processing plant. 1 secret silver ore can be processed into 3 pieces of mithril. Note, requires a level 3 or processing plant. Magic energy stone, an energy-containing stone that can power certain special devices. Satisfied, Chao Xing nodded, his eyes on the remaining mine carts. He packed them all up as well. Obtained minecart *1, obtained iron or *42, curse metal *9, secret silver or *7, magic energy stone *19, stone *72. In addition to these, he didn't bypass the iron rails on the ground either. Obtained iron rail *42, obtained abandoned mine cart *7, obtained. Chao Xing followed behind Andrew and Assam, collecting various ores from the ground. Lu Muxue also assisted in gathering. As she picked up items, she exclaimed with a joyful smile, "Axing, so much iron ore and so many secret silver ores." Chao Xing nodded. This trip is quite a haul. Just these ores and mine carts make it worthwhile. Lu Muxue also displayed the joy of their acquisition. Clearly, the Mole Man mine was a high-level area. At least, with the current survivor strength, it was impossible to get in. But Chao Xing, having 3 generals under his command, could explore this mine for treasures at his level. The haul was indeed abundant. So far, Chao Xing had gathered nearly 200 sections of rail. Thankfully, the survivors, carrying backpack, feature had 20 slots for storage, with similar materials stackable up to 400 units in 1 slot. And larger items like mine carts could be stacked nearly 100 times, occupying just 1 slot. The carrying backpack was quite spacious. The team continued to move forward until they reached the tunnel's depths. The light here dimmed considerably. However, with Chao Xing retrieving a magic energy stone torch from his backpack, the darkness was instantly dispelled. They noticed white spider webs appearing on the ceiling and walls of the mine. The further in they went, the denser the webbing became. Some large webs even filled the passage, blocking the group's path. Meanwhile, an evil, formidable aura rushed toward them. Deep within the cave, an evil and powerful aura rushed towards them. Chao Xing furrowed his brow and then ordered, "Assam, clear the passage." Assam swung his longsword, hacking at the spider webs directly. Splat! However, his sharp longsword cut into the webs, as if slicing through jelly, losing much of its force. It took several swings to clear the webs away. Chao Xing pondered quietly. Clearly, using fire was the best way to deal with these webs. But in this world, fire was a relatively rare element. Chao Xing was a frost mage, so he couldn't control fire either. Just then, Sarah spoke up. "Lord, let me clear the way for you." Chao Xing looked at her. "Go ahead, Sarah. Show us your power." Sarah nodded, and in a flash appeared in front of the spider webs. Then she swung her shadow blade. Swish! With one slash, she split open a large gap in the tough spider webs. Swish! Swish, swish. With a few slashes, the passage was cleared. Chao Xing was full of admiration. Once again, Sarah showcased her formidable attack to everyone. "Continue forward," Chao Xing ordered. They continued deeper into the mine. The further they went, the darker the surroundings became. Lu Muxue was almost clinging to Chao Xing. She had an instinctive fear of such a deep cave. Chao Xing paid no mind, allowing her to hold his hand as they pressed on. Meanwhile, the predators in this area also seemed to sense prey entering the mine. Rustle, rustle. There came the sound of crawling from within. "Stay alert." Chao Xing's expression immediately hardened, and everyone entered a combat state. Lu Muxue also raised her shield, guarding nervously around Chao Xing. After waiting a moment, no monsters appeared. But Chao Xing noticed faint green glimmers ahead. Chao Xing continued to order, "Sarah, see what lies ahead." Sarah nodded, then slipped into the darkness. Moments later, Sarah reappeared. "Lord, there's a cavern inside. likely the lair of that monster. Chaoxing nodded, then led the group inside. A system prompt appeared. You have entered a special area. The Earth Cave Demon Spider's nest. A powerful predator lives here. Please stay alert and don't become its sustenance. Chaoxing saw that the cavern ceiling above was covered in spider webs, with cocoon-like white bundles hanging above. On the ground, there were spherical glowing bodies of varying sizes, emitting a green slime. The large ones were nearly a meter high, the small ones only a few centimeters. The green glow came from these bodies. Chaoxing looked over. Demon spider eggs, small, cracking it open, will release 8 level 3 small demon spiders. Don't underestimate them. Just because they're small, they're deadly. Demon spider eggs, large, cracking it open, will release 2 level 15 big demon spiders. The big demon spiders are large. Be careful not to get swallowed. Chaoxing looked over at the ground of the nest, seeing at least dozens of demon spider eggs. Damn it! So many demon spider eggs. If they all hatch, there would be at least dozens of Earth Cave demon spiders. Chaoxing couldn't help but feel a bit of headache. He was just about to suggest clearing the demon spider eggs first. Just then, the spider webs overhead began to tremble. Buzz! Buzz, buzz! Chaoxing only felt an evil and powerful aura rapidly approaching him. Under the pressure of this aura, he felt like a bug caught in a spider's web, with no chance to resist. Beside him, Lu Mushue was also pale-faced. The monster gave them a pressure that reached deep into their souls. The next moment, a terrifying figure over 5 meters tall, covered in hair, filled everyone's vision. Swollen sacs drooped beneath it, dripping green slime. Its 8 gleaming eyes emitted a creepy light in the darkness, as if they could read all thoughts of the prey below. The real threat had appeared. At this moment, the massive spider, upon seeing the group below, immediately launched an attack. Its belly swung, and a stream of white spider silk shot out. The target was none other than Andrew, the largest among them. Spider silk instantly wrapped Andrew's body, and a system prompt appeared. Your follower Andrew was attacked by the Earth Cave Demon Spider's spider web, and has been immobilized. However, just then, Andrew roared furiously, and his body rapidly expanded. Evil creature, let nature punish you. He unhesitatingly entered the giant bear form. A massive white bear appeared, and Andrew forcefully tore the spiderweb apart, breaking free. Bring it down. Chaoxing suppressed the fear within him and ordered directly. Roar! Transformed into a giant bear, Andrew suddenly leapt, charging into the air towards the demon spider. However, the big spider knew its advantage. It quickly retreated, causing Andrew's claws to hit empty air. Tear! Andrew's sharp claws ripped through a large area of spider webs. And just then, out from the dark shadows flew a cold light without a sound. Whoosh! Thud! Sarah's obstructive dagger hit the Earth Cave Demon Spider. -643. A large damage number floated up. Hiss! Hiss! The Earth Cave Demon Spider jerked in pain. At the same time, 3 ice cones shot out together. It was Chaoxing who had also launched an attack. Whoosh! Whoosh whoosh! The ice cones all hit. -17. -15. -17. 3 small damage numbers appeared. However, the damage wasn't the main point. The key was one of the ice cones triggered a frozen effect. The massive body of the Earth Cave Demon Spider was suddenly covered in frost. Its body stiffened like a kite with its string cut, dropping from above. Thud! Chaoxing was delighted. The ice cone skill is really useful, with each ice cone having a 30% chance to freeze. Hitting them all is likely to cause temporary control over the enemy. And at this moment, as the Earth Cave Demon Spider fell from the air, it lost its ranged advantage. Chaoxing ordered, surround it and kill it. Andrew, Assam, and Frost Wolf Winter all charge forward. Roar! Face the judgment of the Frost Wolf Knights. The Earth Cave Demon Spider had already recovered from the brief frozen state. It still wanted to climb back into the sky. However, the 3 towering creatures had it surrounded, giving it no chance to escape. The Earth Cave Demon Spider was forced to engage in direct combat. It flicked its limbs, biting towards Andrew. Thud! A damage number appeared on Andrew's head. -304. -8. -8. In giant bear form, Andrew's attributes were greatly enhanced, with a blood volume nearing 8,000. Coupled with the 2 additional armor effects from Chao Xing, he could be described as a blood bowl. However, the Earth Cave Demon Spider's bite not only did over 300 damage, but also added a poison status. This showed the terrifying attack power of this spider. Yet in the next second, green numbers like +10, +10 appeared over Andrew's head. Deep within the cave, an evil and powerful aura rushed towards them. Chao Xing furrowed his brow and then ordered, "Assam, clear the passage." Assam swung his longsword, hacking at the spider webs directly. Splat! However, his sharp longsword cut into the webs, as if slicing through jelly, losing much of its force. It took several swings to clear the webs away. Chao Xing pondered quietly. Clearly, using fire was the best way to deal with these webs. But in this world, fire was a relatively rare element. Chao Xing was a frost mage, so he couldn't control fire either. Just then, Sarah spoke up. "Lord, let me clear the way for you." Chao Xing looked at her. "Go ahead, Sarah. Show us your power." Sarah nodded, and in a flash appeared in front of the spiderwebs. Then she swung her shadow blade. Swish! With one slash, she split open a large gap in the tough spiderwebs. Swish! Swish, swish. With a few slashes, the passage was cleared. Chao Xing was full of admiration. Once again, Sarah showcased her formidable attack to everyone. "Continue forward," Chao Xing ordered. They continued deeper into the mine. The further they went, the darker the surroundings became. Lu Muxue was almost clinging to Chao Xing. She had an instinctive fear of such a deep cave. Chao Xing paid no mind, allowing her to hold his hand as they pressed on. Meanwhile, the predators in this area also seemed to sense prey entering the mine. Rustle! Rustle! There came the sound of crawling from within. "Stay alert." Chao Xing's expression immediately hardened, and everyone entered a combat state. Lu Muxue also raised her shield, guarding nervously around Chao Xing. After waiting a moment, no monsters appeared, but Chao Xing noticed faint green glimmers ahead. Chao Xing continued to order, "Sarah, see what lies ahead." Sarah nodded, then slipped into the darkness. Moments later, Sarah reappeared. "Lord, there's a cavern inside, likely the lair of that monster." Chao Xing nodded, then led the group inside. A system prompt appeared. "You have entered a special area, the Earth Cave Demon Spider's Nest. A powerful predator lives here. Please stay alert and don't become its sustenance." Chao Xing saw that the cavern ceiling above was covered in spider webs, with cocoon-like white bundles hanging above. On the ground, there were spherical glowing bodies of varying sizes, emitting a green slime. The large ones were nearly a meter high, the small ones only a few centimeters. The green glow came from these bodies. Chao Xing looked over. Demon spider eggs, small, cracking it open, will release 8 level 3 small demon spiders. Don't underestimate them. Just because they're small, they're deadly. Demon spider eggs, large, cracking it open, will release 2 level 15 big demon spiders. The big demon spiders are large. Be careful not to get swallowed. Chao Xing looked over at the ground of the nest, seeing at least dozens of demon spider eggs. Damn it! So many demon spider eggs. If they all hatch, there would be at least dozens of Earth Cave demon spiders. Chao Xing couldn't help but feel a bit of headache. He was just about to suggest clearing the demon spider eggs first. Just then, the spider webs overhead began to tremble. Buzz! Buzz, buzz! Chao Xing only felt an evil and powerful aura rapidly approaching him. Under the pressure of this aura, he felt like a bug caught in a spider's web, with no chance to resist. Beside him, Lu Muxue was also pale-faced. The monster gave them a pressure that reached deep into their souls. The next moment, a terrifying figure over 5 meters tall, covered in hair, filled everyone's vision. Swollen sacks drooped beneath it, dripping green slime. Its 8 gleaming eyes emitted a creepy light in the darkness, as if they could read all thoughts of the prey below. The real threat had appeared. At this moment, the massive spider, upon seeing the group below, immediately launched an attack. Its belly swung, and a stream of white spider silk shot out. The target was none other than Andrew, the largest among them. Spider silk instantly wrapped Andrew's body, and a system prompt appeared. Your follower Andrew was attacked by the Earth Cave Demon Spider's spider web, and has been immobilized. However, just then, Andrew roared furiously, and his body rapidly expanded. Evil creature, let nature punish you. He unhesitatingly entered the giant bear form. A massive white bear appeared, and Andrew forcefully tore the spiderweb apart, breaking free. Bring it down. Chao Xing suppressed the fear within him and ordered directly. Roar! Transformed into a giant bear. Andrew suddenly leapt, charging into the air towards the demon spider. However, the big spider knew its advantage. It quickly retreated, causing Andrew's claws to hit empty air. Tear! Andrew's sharp claws ripped through a large area of spider webs. And just then, out from the dark shadows flew a cold light without a sound. Whoosh! Thud! Sarah's obstructive dagger hit the Earth Cave Demon Spider. 643. A large damage number floated up. Hiss! Hiss! The Earth Cave Demon Spider jerked in pain. At the same time, 3 ice cones shot out together. It was Chao Xing who had also launched an attack. Whoosh! Whoosh whoosh! The ice cones all hit. 17. 15. 17. 3 small damage numbers appeared. However, the damage wasn't the main point. The key was one of the ice cones triggered a frozen effect. The massive body of the Earth Cave Demon Spider was suddenly covered in frost. Its body stiffened like a kite with its string cut, dropping from above. Thud! Chao Xing was delighted. The ice cone skill is really useful, with each ice cone having a 30% chance to freeze. Hitting them all is likely to cause temporary control over the enemy. And at this moment, as the Earth Cave Demon Spider fell from the air, it lost its ranged advantage. Chao Xing ordered, surround it and kill it. Andrew, Assam, and Frostwolf Winter all charged forward. Roar! Face the judgment of the Frost Wolf Knights. The Earth Cave Demon Spider had already recovered from the brief frozen state. It still wanted to climb back into the sky. However, the 3 towering creatures had it surrounded, giving it no chance to escape. The Earth Cave Demon Spider was forced to engage in direct combat. It flicked its limbs, biting towards Andrew. Thud! A damage number appeared on Andrew's head. 304. 8. 8. In giant bear form, Andrew's attributes were greatly enhanced, with a blood volume nearing 8,000. Coupled with the 2 additional armor effects from Chao Xing, he could be described as a blood bowl. However, the Earth Cave Demon Spider's bite not only did over 300 damage, but also added a poison status. This showed the terrifying attack power of this spider. Yet in the next second, green numbers like +10, +10 appeared over Andrew's head. Andrew felt his life force recovering and devoutly said, "This is the power granted to me by the Lord. Evil will be punished." He slapped down. 243. The system prompt appeared. Andrew dealt damage to Earth Cave Demon Spider. Wildness Mark skill activated. A bear claw symbol appeared on the head of the Earth Cave Demon Spider, and its defense value plummeted by a large chunk. Then, Assam and Frostwolf also launched attacks on the massive body of the Earth Cave Demon Spider. 152. 78. These damage numbers were dealt by Assam and Frostwolf. Although Assam had strong attack power, this Earth Cave Demon Spider's formidable defense still reduced a lot of the damage. Just then, Sarah also approached. She swung the shadow blade in her hand, slicing down fiercely. 572. A terrifying damage number appeared. Hiss! The body of the Earth Cave Demon Spider suddenly contracted, as if it had suffered a severe blow. Despite the Earth Cave Demon Spider's incredible defense, it was still no match for Sarah's even greater attack power. 4 powerful summoned creatures began to besiege this Earth Cave Demon Spider. Chao Xing commanded from the back. Andrew, your main goal is to withstand the damage from this demon spider. Assam, if Andrew's blood volume drops below half, switch with him to the front. Sarah, Frost attack with full force. Under Chao Xing's orders, they orderly launched their assault on the Earth Cave demon spider. 1124, 246, 172, 84. A multitude of damage numbers floated up. Seeing the battle gradually entering a rhythm, Chao Xing breathed a sigh of relief. Then, he began to check the attributes of this spider monster. Earth Cave Demon Spider, level 20. Race, Insect. Level, Second Order Elite Level Creature. Life Value, 6614/10255. Attack Power, 513, 545. Attributes, Power, 312. Agility, 287. Spirit, 334. Constitution, 357. Skills, Powerful Spider Web. Emits a powerful spider web. Controlling enemies. If the enemies lack power, will be permanently trapped. Egg laying. Hatches many small spiders on site, ranging from 20-50 in number, causing disruption effect to enemies. Demon Spider Frenzy. When Earth Cave demon spider's blood volume drops below 30%, will prematurely hatch all demon spider eggs, driving all demon spiders to attack enemies. Talent, Neurotoxin. Attacks carry a level 2 neurotoxin effect. What a strong guy, with a life value over 10,000 and attacks laced with toxins. Even more terrifying, it could hatch all spider eggs below 30% blood volume. At that moment, Chao Xing immediately realized that these surrounding spider eggs were threats. Thus, Chao Xing ordered, Assam, take Frost Wolf Winter out of the battlefield. First clear out the nearby demon spider eggs. Andrew, Sarah, hold this Earth Cave demon spider with all your might. As you command, Lord. Assam sheathed his long sword and charged directly toward a small demon spider egg nearby. Splatter, 287. The small demon spider egg burst open instantly, spewing out a mass of green slime, among which were 5 or 6 small spiders. As introduced by the system, these small spiders were extremely fast, crawling to Assam's feet in an instant. Unoppressed by the crisis, Assam struck down with his sword. 246, 235, 244. He almost shattered each small demon spider with a single strike. Simultaneously, Chao Xing continually gathered frost power, throwing ice balls down one after another. Pop! 63. A small spider's body burst open instantly, turning into a mass of green slime. Successfully killed small demon spider LV3, gained 30 experience points. Killing these small demon spiders also gives experience. Chao Xing's eyes brightened. Considering the number of demon spider eggs in this cave, it was a significant amount of experience. Lu Muxue stood by, holding her shield, ready and vigilant. Her task was to protect Chao Xing's safety. Splatter, splatter, splatter. One by one, demon spider eggs were preemptively smashed by Assam. Under the siege of 2 second-order elite creatures, the blood volume of the Earth Cave demon spider began to pour like water. Those demon spider eggs were also smashed one after the other by Assam. Chao Xing followed behind, continually delivering the killing blow, and his experience value began to rise rapidly. At the same time, as time passed by, the survivors in the outside world also began sprinting for the level ranking list. In the chat channel, a heated discussion arose. Brothers, look at the leaderboard. Fong Long has rushed to level 4, already entering the top 3. Damn, so fast. True, to Fong Long of the 3 Heroes Association, when he erupts, it's truly impressive. Indeed, Fong Long's strength is undeniable. Other survivors, seeing the discussion in the chat channel, also opened the leaderboard to check. Zone 174 level ranking list. First place, Chao Xing, level 4, 52%. Second place, Zhou Bo, level 4, 25%. Third place, Fong Long, level 4, 17%. Fourth place, Those survivors, seeing the ranking, immediately frowned and said, "It looks like Zhou Bo is also catching up. The leading position of Chao Xing seems to be in jeopardy." Yes, although I saw Chao Xing's experience change slightly today, compared to Feng Long and Zhou Bo's speed, he's far behind. Hearing everyone's discussion about Feng Long, the survivors in the Three Heroes Association proudly said in the chat channel, "Chao Xing is just a lucky kid. What's he worth?" Let me tell you, several of our brothers have already joined forces, exploring faster as a team. And our boss Feng Long will soon surpass this Chao Xing. In another 2 days, once the newbie protection period ends, all those who offended our Three Heroes Association will settle accounts. In the chat channel, there were initially some supporters of Chao Xing. Now, being threatened by the Three Heroes Association, none of them dared speak. At this moment, a survivor named Fu Jiafeng said, "Indeed, the Three Heroes Association has strength, but our Skyblade Association is not weak either. This time our boss Zhou Bo will surely be second, if not first." Exactly, our Tiger Hall boss, Wu Xinghu, can also make it to the top 3. A survivor from the Three Heroes Association also said, "Looks like the top 3 are already settled this time, huh?" Just when they prematurely reserved the top 3 rankings. Someone suddenly spoke in the chat channel. "Quick, look! Chao Xing's experience bar is moving, and it's fast." What? Everyone hurriedly opened the leaderboard. First place, Chao Xing, level 4, 55%. Just now, it was 52%, and suddenly it jumped to 55%. Even more terrifying was that his experience bar was still increasing. Level 4, 56%. Level 4, 58%. Level 4, 60%. Almost every few seconds, you could see his experience value jump once. Oh my god, so fast. Seeing this scene, the survivors of the Three Heroes Association and Sky Blade Association had eyes filled with disbelief. Meanwhile, the battle in the cave was also nearing its end. The Earth Cave Demon Spider was covered with dense claw marks and deep bone-visible knife marks. Chao Xing noticed its blood volume. Life value, 1203/10255. The last bit of blood over 1,000. As Sarah sliced again. -638. The blood volume of the Earth Cave Demon Spider dropped below 600. Seeing Sarah preparing to strike again, Chao Xing quickly shouted, "Sarah, stop! Let me do it." Sarah stopped in confusion. The Earth Cave Demon Spider, thinking it was doomed, suddenly noticed that the 2 assaulters stopped. It seemed to see a glimmer of hope. The Earth Cave Demon Spider bent its 8 legs on the spot, then suddenly sprang, seemingly ready to leap into the air. Sarah was about to make a move, but recalling Chao Xing's command, she held back. At that moment, Chao Xing, without hesitation, pulled out the Barrett. When the Earth Cave Demon Spider leaped into the air, he fired a shot. Bang! -804. A large damage number floated up. Bang! A gunshot rang out. On the body of the Earth Cave Demon Spider, a bloody hole appeared instantly. Thud! The Earth Cave Demon Spider fell down, struggled for a moment, and then collapsed completely. The system prompt appeared. Successfully slew the Earth Cave Demon Spider, a level 20 elite level creature. Killed an enemy above one's level. Gained 500 by 500% experience value. Gained 2,500 experience points. Combat personnel: Lu Muxiue, Sarah Blade Dance, Andrew, Yelena, Assam gained experience, 1,250 points. Your level has increased, current level, level 5. This upgrade resulted in Power +2, Agility +1, Spirit +3, Constitution +2. A white light simultaneously rose from Chao Xing and Lu Muxiue. They both leveled up. Source: updated on Omicron New. Chao Xing exclaimed excitedly, "Ha! I'm the kill stealer." Then, a second system prompt appeared. Successfully slew the Earth Cave Demon Spider. Obtained Loot Basic Power Heart *1. Obtained Basic Elemental Crystal *12. Obtained Basic Pet Contract *1. Obtained Demon Spider Essence, Elite Level *1. Obtained Chaos Book Medium *3. Obtained Demon Spider Staff Blue. A whole heap of rewards appeared. Wow. As expected of a level 20 elite monster, the drop rate is insanely high. Not only that, but Sarah and Andrew and the others, after seeing the battle end, all looked at Chao Xing with eyes full of admiration. The Earth Cave Demon Spider was a powerful creature, yet they didn't suffer severe damage. The lost blood volume was almost replenished. Due to your excellent command, you demonstrated outstanding combat capability. Assam's loyalty to you has increased. Current loyalty, 100. When loyalty reaches full value, the follower will prioritize your commands and be willing to sacrifice their life to complete your orders. Andrew's loyalty to you has increased. Current loyalty, 80. Sarah Blade Dance's loyalty to you has increased. Current loyalty, 79. Meanwhile, the survivors who were watching the leaderboard suddenly saw Chao Xing's experience value jump from level 4, 65%, directly to level 5, 30%. At this moment, the entire chat channel of Area 174 fell into a stupor. Heavens, what happened? Didn't they say Fong Long and Zhou Bo were about to surpass Chao Xing? How did he suddenly pull such a huge lead? So terrifying. Such a huge increase in experience at once. What terrifying creature did Chao Xing kill? At this moment, the survivors of the Three Heroes Association spoke one after another in the chat channel. Impossible. The leaderboard must have a bug. That's right. Leveling up from 4 to 5 requires at least a few thousand points of experience. How could he possibly gain that much experience at once? However, other survivors were beginning to find it hard to watch. You guys from the Three Heroes Association, stop being stubborn. You even claim there's a problem with the leaderboard. Exactly. The facts are right there, yet you refuse to acknowledge it. Seeing more and more people standing by Chao Xing, the Three Heroes Association's comments were quickly drowned out. In the Mole Man mine, Lu Muxue came over with a joyful expression and spoke softly. Axing, I leveled up too. The system also prompted that I've entered the top 10 of the leaderboard. Chao Xing nodded and said, not bad. It seems that after this leaderboard concludes, we might get you into the top 3. He rubbed Lu Muxue's hair. This intimate gesture made Lu Muxue a bit shy. She softly replied with a no. Then, Chao Xing began to examine the recently acquired rewards. Apart from the basic power heart and basic elemental crystal, everything else was new. Chao Xing started examining. Basic pet contract. Green can be used on a wild creature to make it your exclusive pet, with a success rate of 5%, 20%. Tip: you can try using force to tame it, greatly enhancing the success rate. Chaos Book Medium contains medium-level rune power. Can be used on a follower to randomly increase their 4-dimensional attribute points by 3. Demon Spider Essence, elite level essence containing powerful power of soul. Can be used on a follower below second order, greatly increasing the chance of evolving into an elite level creature, with a success probability of 50%, 80%. Upon seeing the Demon Spider Essence, Chao Xing's eyes immediately lit up. Wow! This essence can actually evolve an ordinary creature into an elite creature. Although there's a chance of failure, the success rate is obviously higher. Chao Xing glanced around, then his eyes rested on Assam. Assam was currently just a second-order ordinary creature, but if he could evolve him to elite level, it would make him much stronger. So, Chao Xing called Assam over and directly handed him the Demon Spider Essence. Assam, use this. It will make you stronger. Assam looked at the cluster of blue ghost fire in his hand without any hesitation and immediately absorbed it into his body. The next moment, Assam suddenly stiffened all over. He felt a powerful force roaming within his body, starting to transform his body. Then, everyone simultaneously sensed an extremely formidable aura rising from Assam. The system prompt appeared. Your follower, Assam, used the Demon Spider Essence, successfully evolved into an elite level creature. Potential increased. All attributes increased by 30%. Each level up will yield more attribute boosts. Extra skill activated. Frost Sword Energy Condense Frost Power. Deliver a sword chi with a frozen effect. Maximum attack distance 30 meters. Inflicts 166% attack damage on all enemies in its path. Cooldown time 60 seconds. Chao Xing's eyes immediately lit up. A new skill, an arranged 1-2. This boost was truly fierce. Assam also sensed that after using that ghost fire, his strength had increased significantly. He looked at Chao Xing with excitement, directly knelt on one knee, and said respectfully, "Thank you, Lord, for granting this power. Assam cannot repay you enough." Chao Xing nodded and said, "You deserve it. Knight Assam, from now on, you will help me build a territory filled with glory." Assam was so moved that he was almost in tears. He choked up and said, "To meet a lord like you is Assam's fortune." Assam's loyalty already reached full value, so no further system prompts appeared. Chao Xing nodded satisfactorily, then checked Assam's attributes. Frost Wolf Knight. Assam, second order elite level creature. Race, human clan. Level 10 3635/10,000. Life value, 2,660. Attack power, 312, 327. Armor, 24, 27. Attributes, power 148, agility 140, spirit 135, constitution 133. Skills, riding mastery, frost wolf swordsmanship, frost sword energy. Hunger level, 80. Loyalty, 100. Indeed, all attributes had increased significantly. Now he had 3 second-order elite level creatures under his command. Chao Xing looked at the items in his backpack and took out a basic power crystal. This thing could be used by the Lord or on summoned creatures. Chao Xing pondered, with this leaderboard, Mushiwe, and I should secure a top 10 spot. Therefore, this power crystal can be used to enhance the strength of a subordinate. The concentrated attack from everyone reduced the ground drilling robot's durability by a third. At the same time, Frost Wolf Winter, upon being attacked, had green recovery numbers of plus 22 appearing above its head. Its blood volume rapidly recovered. The outcome of the battle was no longer in suspense. After a few more seconds, as a puff of black smoke rose from the ground drilling robot, it reverted from drilling form to its upright form, uttering in a dejected voice, "The robot defeated your territory member. Sarah Blade Dance has killed ground drilling robot LV-15, gaining 150 experience value. All combat personnel received 75 experience value." This combat personnel included not only everyone on the field, but also Yelena back in the territory. Chao Xing chuckled again. Feels like Yelena should have leveled up to 6 by now, right? Lu Mushiwa, witnessing Sarah's graceful attack moves and formidable attack power, couldn't help but praise her. "Sarah, so amazing." Sarah nodded slightly upon hearing Lu Mushiwa's praise, saying, "Honored to be recognized by you, beautiful lord." Chao Xing rolled his eyes. This woman never reacted when he praised her. When Lu Mushiwa praised her, she'd be so happy. Shaking his head, Chao Xing approached the now-defunct ground drilling robot. Mole Man technology, ground drilling robot, destroyed. Can be decomposed into basic energy core *1, iron *120, copper *41, mithril *27, magic energy stone *6, or repair it using iron *100, mithril *10, magic energy stone *5, after which the ground drilling robot will become an ally unit, and you can issue simple commands. Seeing the second effect, Chao Xing's eyes lit up. Huh, it can become an ally unit? Chao Xing had already witnessed the ground drilling robot's formidable attack power. In a one-on-one state, Frost Wolf was no match for it. Plus, this thing could be used for mining too, a multifunctional robot indeed. Chao Xing glanced at the materials in his backpack. Iron *1723, mithril *133, magic energy stone *164. Good thing, I picked up quite a bit of materials on the way, more than enough to repair the ground drilling robot. He then directly clicked on repair. Repairing. Creak. Creak. The sound of machinery turning emerged. Simultaneously, the scrapped robot seemed to come back to life again. The parts that had been attacked, its iron casing hacked open, exposing electrical components inside. With the application of various materials, it quickly repaired itself and soon returned to its original state. A system prompt appeared. Repair successful. You lost iron *100, mithril *10, magic energy stone *5. You gain ground drilling robot *1, territory population +1. Chao Xing was taken aback. This thing counts as a population unit too? After contemplating, he didn't mind. He still had plenty of population cap available. At this moment, the ground drilling robot stood up again. I am a robot. Master, please command. Witnessing this, Sarah, Andrew, and the others cast curious glances. It seemed strange how the guy they just took down was back on his feet. Chao Xing took a look at the ground drilling robot status. Mole Man technology, ground drilling robot. Level, LV-15. Attack power, 237-250. Armor, 115-124. Durability value, 100/2000. Maximum movement speed, 30 kilometers per hour. Energy consumption, 1 magic energy stone /30 days. Low energy standby state, 1 magic energy stone /1 day. High energy combat state. Skills, drilling form, drill ejection. Other attributes were the same as previously seen. And now that it was an ally unit, Chao Xing could see its energy consumption and movement values. In low energy mode, it consumes only 1 magic energy stone a month. That energy consumption is quite low. Furthermore, the recently repaired ground drilling robot had poor durability value, just as Chao Xing was about to restore its durability value. Iron Rail +1. Magic Energy Stone +3. Magic Energy Crystal +1. System prompts kept appearing. Chao Xing and Lu Muxue were behind, happily collecting these precious minerals. With the new backpack, Chao Xing no longer worried about backpack capacity. They didn't even spare the stones on the ground, picking up everything they could. Axing, there are a few magic energy crystals here that can be broken down into 5 magic energy stones. Lu Muxue said happily, holding 2 crystals in her hand. Chao Xing's eyes lit up. Magic energy crystals. Good stuff. Muxue, keep them. Hum. Lu Muxue agreed with a gentle smile. While moving forward, Chao Xing raised his magic wand, refreshing the effects of frost armor and ice healing skill for them. Source, updated on Nzunu0.omicron. After advancing about 100 meters, they encountered another group of mole man miners. Squeak, squeak. There were about 15 of these mole men, making threatening noises. Among them, Chao Xing also saw a few mole men wielding iron swords and spears. Mole Man Soldier LV-9. Life value, 960. Attack power, 67-71. Mole Man Spearman LV-10. Life value, 1040. Attack power, 76-79. Some of these mole men had significantly leveled up and even learned some basic combat skills. This time, without needing Chao Xing's orders, all 4 mighty recruited creatures charged forward. Thud, thud, thud. Frost Wolf Winter took the lead, its burly limbs running through the mine, directly knocking the mole men flying. Then it opened its huge maw, suddenly biting down on one of the mole men. -273. Blood spurted. Squeak, squeak. The mole man screamed miserably, struggling frantically, but was soon bitten through and killed. The attacks from other mole men hit the Frost Wolf, immediately triggering a layer of scale armor and frost armor. -34, -27, -15. Several pitiful damage numbers floated up before they could attack again. Green numbers of +22, +22 appeared above the Frost Wolf's head. In just a few seconds, its blood volume was fully restored. Chao Xing's spiritual power increased after, significantly boosting the healing amount of ice healing skill. This scene almost made the mole men despair. Then Assam and Andrew launched their attacks. Dash 437, dash 8, dash 312, dash 8, dash 784, dash 8. One by one, damage numbers floated up. Assam and their power was simply overwhelming for these Mole Man miners. Plus, Sarah was secretly wielding the Shadow Blade. Cutting through like slicing vegetables, the Mole Men fell one after another. Chao Xing and Lu Mushua leisurely collected the loot behind. Iron Rail +1. Dry Food +7. Sticky Liquid +1. It had to be said, this kind of battle was quite relaxing. No need to lift a finger, just follow behind picking stuff up. And you could earn experience points. Your territory member Sarah Blade, Dance, killed Mole Man LV7, gaining 70 experience points. You receive half of the experience points, 35. Your territory member. Experience point notifications kept appearing. Shortly, Chao Xing's experience bar reached 33% of level 5. And Lu Mushua's experience also reached 34% of level 4. Both of their eyes revealed delight. At this moment, Lu Mushua's expression turned complex. She knew how difficult it was for the survivors to fight now, facing the risk of death when encountering wild creatures. Even the top 10 on the leaderboard, like Fong Long and Zhou Bo, faced the risk of death in battle. But Chao Xing's fights were absurdly relaxed. A few minutes later, the battle ended. Chao Xing collected a large number of mining pickaxes from the Mole Man, and some iron ingot and sticky liquid, +4 Chaos Book week. The haul was rather good. Chao Xing said satisfactorily, "Keep moving forward." Thud, thud. Frost Wolf Winter walked at the front with a majestic demeanor. They traveled forward about another 500 meters, with Chao Xing picking up a significant number of iron rails. The mine tunnel ahead became much more spacious. At this moment, a monster nearly 2 meters tall, covered in iron plates, with a head like a large drill, blocked their path. Seeing this figure, Chao Xing's eyes lit up instantly. Mechanical monster? The opponent's attributes appeared before him. Mole Man technology, ground drilling robot. Level 15. Attack power 237-250. Armor 115-124. Durability value 2000. Skill, drilling form, activate the drill, switch to drilling form. Move speed increases by 30%, causing multiple cutting damage to enemies along the way. Drill ejection. Eject the head's drill, dealing 5 segments of 80% attack. Maximum attack distance 50 meters, and inflicting 3 layers of level 1 bleeding effect. Can only be used once. This ground drilling robot had no life value. Reducing its durability value to 0 meant losing combat ability. At this moment, the ground drilling robot saw Chao Xing and the others, letting out a halting mechanical voice. Have enemies need to eliminate. Then it lowered its body. From its original upright form, it transformed into a vehicle form, just like a car transforming. The drill on its head activated instantly, buzzing frantically. Getting grazed by this drill slightly would result in severe injury. At this moment, the ground drilling robot charged towards them. Chao Xing ordered directly, "Go, take it down." The 4 recruited creatures charged forward simultaneously at the command. Roar! The advanced Frost Wolf took the lead. It swiped its paw down directly. Dash 31. A black damage number floated up. The damage didn't seem high, but it was due to the high armor value of such mechanical creations. The ground drilling robot turned its head and charged towards Frost Wolf Winter, receiving the attack. Buzz! Buzz buzz! The drill spun rapidly, the attack tearing a large area of fur and flesh from the Frost Wolf. "Oh!" Frost Wolf cried out in pain. Damage numbers appeared on its head. Dash 131, dash 15, dash 144, dash 15. Seeing this, Chao Xing exclaimed, "Wow, this thing's attack power is that high." Even the Frost Wolf almost got knocked away. And just then, a snow-white figure suddenly leaped up and slapped the ground drilling robot's shell. Crack! Dash 95. Andrew's attack was quite impressive, taking out nearly a 20th of the durability. Moreover, A bear claw mark appeared on the ground, drilling Robot's head, drastically decreasing its defensive power. At this point, Assam and Sarah arrived as well. The four formidable creatures began surrounding and attacking this ground-drilling robot. Bang! Clang! Assam's longsword, Andrew's sharp claws, and Sarah's shadow blade continually struck this ground-drilling robot. Dash 102. Dash 8. Dash 156. Dash 8. Dash 454. Dash 8. Sarah's attack, as usual, was fierce. With one strike, after triggering Blessed Relief, it could take nearly a quarter of the robot's durability. He suddenly sensed a dangerous aura approaching rapidly. Assam, highly perceptive, instantly drew his longsword, warning, "Lord, be careful." Simultaneously, many pairs of glowing red eyes suddenly appeared in the darkness. Thump, thump, buzz, buzz, buzz. Hundreds of footsteps, along with the sound of machinery, rushed toward Chao Xing and the others. Andrew and Sarah's expressions tensed as they entered combat mode. When Chao Xing locked eyes on them, a large group of mole men appeared wielding daggers, spears, swords, and halberds, numerous in number. Among them were several robots 2 to 3 meters in height. Chao Xing's gaze swept over the monster's attributes. Mole Man Archer LV-11. Life value 1760. Attack power 133-135. Mole Man Soldier LV-7. Life value 640. Attack power 54-59. Mole Man Technology Shovel Loader Robot. Level LV-15. Attack power 377-394. Armor 134-139. Durability value 2,500. Skill Shovel Form. Activates the bucket. Enters Excavator Form, increasing move speed by 20%. Skill Bulldozer. Full power forward, flattening all enemies before it, dealing 130% heavy strike damage to enemies along the way, with a 50% chance to knock enemies back. Besides this shovel loader robot, Chao Xing also noticed a track robot with tank treads and another ground drilling robot. Wow, this stirred the hornet's nest. Chao Xing could not help but exclaim. Hundreds of mole men surrounded them, plus 3 powerful robots. Even Chao Xing felt pressured. However, considering the prowess of Sarah and the others, Chao Xing felt reassured. His recruited creatures were no pushover. With multiple buffs enhancing them, their survival and endurance capabilities received a substantial boost. It was more than enough to handle the current situation. Thus, Chao Xing directly commanded, "Assam, come protect us." Andrew, Sarah, Winter, you go. At that moment, the 3 powerful second-order creatures obeyed the command, rushing forward without hesitation. Sarah faced the formation, feeling not fear but excitement. She licked her rosy lips, murmuring, "My prey is near now. Let the hunt begin." The next moment, she melded into the darkness. Meanwhile, Andrew unhesitatingly entered giant bear form. Roar! A frost wolf, a polar bear, and a shadow swiftly charged into the Mole Man army to attack. The two sides clashed head-on. Boom! Boom! Andrew and the frost wolf, these two gigantic figures, leaped into the Mole Man horde, swinging sharp claws. Dash 372. Dash 8. Dash 234. Dash 8. 257. Dash 8. A series of damage numbers floated up. Mole men were swatted away in large numbers. Squeak! Squeak! They were slammed against the walls of the mine, uttering screams. And just then, a few second-order Mole Man archers at a distance simultaneously launched attacks. Whoosh! Whoosh! The sound of arrows cutting through the air repeatedly hit Andrew and Frostwolf, triggering 2 layers of armor. Dash 54. Dash 93. The damage wasn't too high. Other mole men could only inflict damage in the 10s and 20s. Seeing this, Chao Xing's heart settled. With their recovery abilities, they could survive under this siege. Roar! Andrew entered a complete frenzy state at that moment. He swung his massive bear paws, smashing the heads of low-level mole men with each hit. Thud, thud, thud. The frost wolf, though not as terrifying, could take down a mole man with 2 or 3 claw swipes. Moreover, Sarah in the shadows continuously wielded the shadow blade. Mole men dropped one by one. Experience prompts kept appearing. Meanwhile, Assam dutifully guarded by Chao Xing, ensuring his and Lu Mushua's safety. Chao Xing breathed a sigh of relief. Thankfully, Andrew and the others are strong enough. The sudden appearance of so many mole men sure did give me a scare. Chao Xing noticed the recently repaired ground drilling robot, left with only 100 durability, which is why he hadn't let it join the battle. He tried casting Ice Healing skill on it. A system prompt appeared. Ice Healing skill successfully cast. Talent, Eternal Power. Activated, the skill has become a permanent state. One after another, the recovery numbers floated up, and the ground drilling robot's durability value quickly recovered. Chao Xing's eyes lit up. Wow, it really works. Then, he cast an ice armor skill on the robot, and Lu Mushue also applied an Aurora Blessing. In no time, the ground drilling robot announced that it was fully revitalized. At this moment, it emitted a mechanical voice. I feel in great condition. Chao Xing nodded. Good, good, good. Since you've recovered, go join the battle. Understood, Master. Following Chao Xing's command, the robot stepped forward with its iron gate, joining the fray. Buzz, buzz, buzz. The robot's drill started spinning, and the ground drilling robot charged into the mole men, sending them flying one by one. Dash 254, dash 233, dash 213, dash 247. The declining damage numbers floated up, causing waves of mole men to scream in agony. Squeak, squeak, squeak. Chao Xing's gaze returned to the battlefield. On the field, the 3 robots had the highest attack power. Their formidable defense and attack power made them as difficult as elite monsters of the same level. Alone, Andrew and Frostwolf might not fear them. But now, with so many mole men attacking from the sides, they fought while dodging to reposition themselves. Squeak, squeak. Nearby mole men warriors kept cutting at Andrew and Frostwolf with their weapons. Dash 37, dash 63, dash 54. The dual weakening effect of the scale armor plus the frost armor, along with their own defensive power, made the damage caused by these mole men negligible. And soon, plus 22 healing numbers began to appear over Frostwolf, Winter, and Andrew's heads. Nearly 3 minutes went by in the battle, and their blood volume had dropped by less than 30%. Meanwhile, Sarah also continuously appeared from the shadows, attacking those 3 robots. She knew that as long as they took out the robots first, the remaining mole men wouldn't pose a threat. Snap! The shadow blade swung. Dash 674. An exaggerated damage number floated up. This strike triggered the double critical effect of Blessed Relief. The last track robot was blown up on the spot by Sarah. Watching this scene, Chao Xing felt at ease. Let me show you what an infinitely healing phantom assassin is. Sarah, cut them down. Meanwhile, a few mole men also noticed Chao Xing behind them, seemingly understanding he was the mastermind. One mole man captain with a hat pointed at Chao Xing. Kill him. The other mole men, hearing this, all turned their gazes toward him. Squeak, squeak. They rushed towards Chao Xing with spears and iron swords. Assam, serving as a guard, immediately moved. You gloomy creatures, do not offend the Lord. A cold light flashed as he wielded the Frost Wolf swordsmanship. Swish, swish, swish. Dash 322. Dash 335. Dash 493. The mole men fell one by one to Assam's sword. After advancing to an elite creature, Assam was truly invincible. Your territory member. Assam killed a mole man soldier LV-11, gaining 110 experience points. You gain experience points, 55. Your territory member. Sarah Blade Dance killed a mole man soldier LV-13, gaining 130 experience points. You gain experience points, 65. The experience gain notifications kept coming. There were over 100 mole men here. Chao Xing practically watched his experience bar soaring rapidly. He saw it had already reached 86% of level 5. At this moment, Lu Muxue remained on high alert nearby. Since the start of battle, she had vigilantly guarded Chao Xing's surroundings. Chao Xing patted Lu Muxue's shoulder. "All right, you can relax a bit now." Lu Muxue's shoulder trembled. Then she turned her head and gently exhaled. Suddenly, Lu Muxue was enveloped in white light. Her beautiful eyes sparkled as she excitedly said, "Axing, I leveled up to 5. Chao Xing laughed. "Not bad. It looks like you have a chance to break into the top 3. He checked the level ranking list. Zone 174 level ranking list. First, Chao Xing, level 5, 86%. Second, Lu Muxue, level 5, 2%. Third, Zhou Bo, level 4, 43%. Fourth, Fang Long, level 4, 21%. Lu Muxue leaped to second place. Meanwhile, Zone 174's chat channel was in an uproar. LV Jing, wow. Big shot Chao Xing is terrifying, leveling up like he's on steroids. Chunyu, yeah, it's too ridiculous. It hasn't been long, and he's almost level 6. Inkawei, who is this Lu Muxue? She suddenly overtook Zhou Bo and Fang Long and jumped to second place. Huang Shanhe, our Zone 174 truly has hidden talents. Another hidden expert emerged, and by the name, it seems to be a girl. The survivors sighed with emotion. At this time, a survivor named Chunyi said, "Wait, don't you think Lu Muxue sound a bit familiar?" Hearing this, other survivors grew contemplative. "Indeed, sounds familiar. I remember, on our Xiangjiang fashion magazine, among the top 10 goddesses, one was named Lu Muxue." No way. Could it really be Goddess Muxue? Zhua Baosheng. I think it's possible. Apart from Goddess Lu Muxue, who else has such strength? Wow. Turns out it's Goddess Lu Muxue. This is not surprising. At the same time, other survivors also noticed the ranking changes. On a snowy field, Fang Long had just killed a snow wolf. After receiving the news, his expression changed. That kid is already close to level 6. And Lu Muxue also leveled up to 5. Fang Long's expression turned ashen. He initially intended to catch up to Chao Xing today, but now it seems the gap is widening. This gave him a sense of pressure. At this rate, he's really going to take first place. Then, by using the first place reward to summon a leader-level creature, he would surely be unmatched. I have to think of something. Fang Long opened his friend list and found a survivor named Ji Jun, sending a message. About finding that kid's camp coordinates. How's it going? The reply came quickly. "Boss, right now no one can venture too far from their camp, and no one has spotted that kid. It's tough to track." Useless. Fang Long cursed and cut off the communication. But he also knew that at this stage, finding someone's camp coordinates without them revealing it voluntarily was a difficult task. Fang Long fell deep into thought. After a while, he suddenly thought of something. "I remember Muxue seemed to be with that kid, and Lu Muxue's family contacted me yesterday. I wonder if I can use her family to find their camp coordinates?" Fang Long's eyes suddenly lit up. Seems promising. It said that Lu Muxue has been closely monitored by her family since childhood, needing to report all her whereabouts, and she listens to her parents. And Lu Jinjie, being a profit-driven guy, can be bribed with a few more pieces of food. With that thought, a sly smile appeared on Fang Long's face. So, he opened his friend list. Then, he dialed Lu Jinjie's. At this moment, the battle in the Mole Man mine had reached its end. Chao Xing and Lu Muxue stayed behind a psalm, launching attacks with ease. 3 40-centimeter-long ice cones condensed and shot out rapidly. Thud, thud, thud. Dash 84. Dash 87. Dash 85. One of the level 10 mole men was targeted by Chao Xing and died instantly. Successfully killed Mole Man LV10, gaining 100 experience points. Chao Xing nodded in satisfaction. Not bad. After switching to the Demon Spider Cane, his attack power had obviously changed. In comparison to Chao Xing, Sarah was even more terrifying, realizing that the attacks of these mole men couldn't cause her effective damage. Sarah directly gave up on stealth and began a frontal massacre. The shadow blade swung continuously, like a death god harvesting lives on the battlefield. 792, 847, 1657. One exaggerated damage number after another floated up. These mole men fell one by one, like chopping melons and vegetables. Chao Xing and Lu Muxue practically watched Sarah's performance the whole time. At this moment, Lu Muxue suddenly received a video call request. It was from her father. Lu Muxue looked at Chao Xing and asked softly, "Axing, my dad is calling again," leaving a message saying it's urgent. Should I answer? Now, she trusted Chao Xing completely over her family. Chao Xing pondered for a moment, puzzled about why Lu Muxue's father would call at this time. Could it be that he saw Lu Muxue on the leaderboard and wanted some benefits? Chao Xing thought for a second and then said, "Answer it and see what he wants. However, just pretend I'm not here when you talk to him." Lu Muxue nodded. Then, she answered the phone. At that instant, Lu Jinjie, looking at the video screen, spoke excitedly. "Little Shui, you finally answered the phone. You child, we sent you so many messages with no response. What do you intend to do?" Upon hearing the latter sentence, Lu Muxue's expression turned cold. "Is there something you need?" These past few days had gradually strengthened her, no longer the Lu Muxue controlled by her family. Hearing Lu Muxue's tone, Lu Jinjie seemed to realize something was off. His recently displayed anger quickly subsided, and he put on a smiling face. "Oh, it's nothing much. I just wanted to ask how things are going for you there. I saw you on the leaderboard. Truly impressive. Your mom and your brother are so proud of you." Upon hearing this, Lu Muxue felt a chill inside. She knew the hypocrisy in Lu Jinjie's words, claiming they were proud of her. She had never felt her family was proud during her rise to fame. They merely treated her as a tool for making money. She replied coldly, "Say what you have to say directly. If it's for food, I don't have any here." Hearing this, Lu Jinjie's smile froze, seemingly surprised by her tough attitude. But he still wore a smile as he spoke. "Little Shui, Daddy doesn't want food. I just wanted to ask where your camp is located. These past few days, your mom and I have reflected a lot and truly regret being too harsh on you before. I want to come see you with your two brothers after the novice protection period is over." Lu Jinjie spoke with deep emotion, seemingly genuinely remorseful. However, Lu Muxue was a smart woman. Hearing this, she didn't feel joy from her family's remorse, but rather sensed something was off. She turned off the video and audio, then turned her head and asked, "Axing, my dad suddenly asked me for the coordinate location. I feel something strange. With their temperament, it's impossible for them to suddenly feel guilty towards me." Upon hearing this, Chao Xing was momentarily stunned, puzzled. "He wants our coordinate location?" Lu Muxue nodded. Chao Xing fell into deep thought, also sensing something strange. After all, at this stage, survivors found it difficult to even leave the 10-kilometer range of the camp and wouldn't think of searching for other survivor bases. Moreover, with the cautious nature of Lu Muxue's father and her mother, they wouldn't take this risk. Something was wrong here. So it meant someone else made Lu Jinjie come to ask. Interesting, thinking to use Muxue's family to extract the coordinates of my camp. These guys do have some ideas. As for who instructed it, Chao Xing knew clearly. It was nothing more than those on the leaderboard wanting to compete with him for first place. Obviously, Feng Long was the biggest suspect. After all, he had offended him before. Chao Xing displayed an intrigued smile and said, "Muxue, give him a coordinate location, 71231, 5213, 23719. Lu Muxue was a bit puzzled because this coordinate was not where their camp was, but hundreds of kilometers away. What she didn't know was that this coordinate was the location of a large hunter-gathering ground. There was a group of crazed hunters planning a terrifying massacre there. If they didn't go, it was fine, but if they did, they'd have a hard time. They might end up like Tong Chu-Chu's father, offered up as a sacrifice." Chao Xing added, "By the way, remind your father that, At this stage, he has no way to cross several hundred kilometers of snow. It's best if he doesn't come looking for us. This was also Chao Xing's final warning to him. Lu Muxue nodded slightly. I understand, axing. Lu Muxue reopened the video. Then she told Lu Xinjie the coordinate position. Upon seeing the coordinate information, Lu Xinjie doubted nothing and appeared very pleased. He replied excitedly, Good, little Shui. You truly are our good daughter. We'll bring people to find you in a while. After saying that, he ended the call. Lu Muxue glanced at Chao Xing. Chao Xing nodded. After this small interlude, the battle ahead was also over. Chao Xing glanced at his experience value. Level 5, 90%. Just a bit more to reach level 6. On the field, heaps of mole man corpses lay on the ground. Only 4 strong second-order creatures remained, plus 1 drill robot standing still. Chao Xing said, Start clearing the battlefield. Lu Muxue laughed as well, beginning to collect the spoils of war with Chao Xing. Acquired dry food *7. Acquired viscous liquid *1. Acquired iron ingot *1. Acquired mole man standard short sword, white *1. Acquired mole man standard spear, white *1. System prompts appeared continually. It took about 10 minutes. They cleared the battlefield. A cumulative gain of dry food *372, viscous liquid *79, chaos book weak *5, iron ingot *43, and more than 40 various basic weapons. Besides, Chao Xing noticed 3 smoking robots standing quietly nearby. Mole Man technology, shovel robot damaged. Mole Man technology, track robot damaged. Mole Man technology, ground drilling robot damaged. There were a total of 3 robots, all of which could be repaired. Chao Xing directly spent a large amount of materials and clicked on repair. The system prompt appeared. Repairing. Chug. Chug. The 3 severely damaged robots quickly restored their damaged parts, including the electronic components inside. Repair successful. You have obtained shovel robot LV-15*1, track robot LV-15*1, ground drilling robot LV-15*1, territory population +3. The 3 robots emitted a mechanical synthesized voice and looked at Chao Xing, saying, Master, please command. Chao Xing nodded in satisfaction. These robots all had strength comparable to same-level elite monsters. Coupled with Chao Xing's talent, they became a qualitative change. They also significantly increased his combat power. Then, he ordered, continue forward. The 4 robots, plus 4 second-order beings, marched forward in grandeur. Chao Xing and Lu Muxue continued to follow behind. Because the mole men in this mine tunnel had been wiped out by Chao Xing, he had almost nothing to fear. He picked up everything he saw along the way. Obtained minecart *1, iron or *67, curse metal *12, secret silver or *5, magic energy stone *23, stone *112. Obtained iron rail *42, obtained magic energy crystal *1, obtained. With a collection all along the way, it was a bountiful harvest. Looking at the materials in his backpack, Chao Xing's eyes flashed with excitement. Minecart *27, iron rail *1334, iron or *1023, curse metal *357, secret silver or *135, magic energy stone *274. These were the spoils from entering the mine tunnel this time. It was indeed a bountiful harvest. Chao Xing said excitedly, Over 1,000 meters of iron rail. That's more than enough to lay near the camp's mine tunnel. However, Chao Xing found something strange. Since this was a mine tunnel, and the mole men had evidently been working here for some time, then where had they put they had mined before? Chao Xing then said to Andrew and the others ahead, Pay attention and see if there are any forks in this mine tunnel, and look for the mole men's or warehouse. Upon hearing this, Assam and Andrew began to look around. As they explored, They continued to advance deeper into the mine tunnel. Soon, they saw a light ahead. Through the light, they found that it was also a mine tunnel entrance. It showed that they had already traversed this deep mine tunnel. A psalm, who was at the front, said, "Lord, I found many track marks at the mine tunnel entrance." The mole men might have transported the mine or through this passage. Chao Xing paused for a moment, looking at the tracks extending into the depths of the snowfield. It was clear that the mole men's convoy had already left some time ago, and they had come too late. Chao Xing shook his head. "Forget it, let's head back." This time, their haul was already sizable, as they acquired not only a large amount of, but also a substantial amount of experience. The team also added 4 powerful robots. Most importantly, these 4 robots had strong mobility in the snow, especially the giant track robot. Its 3-meter height and large tracks could adapt to many terrains. Chao Xing pondered. With this kind of robot, carrying 2 people through the snow shouldn't be a problem, right? With that thought, Chao Xing climbed onto the back of the track robot, found a flat spot, and sat down. He then patted its shoulder and said, "Move out." Upon receiving the command, the track robot's tracks began to rotate rapidly. Crunch, crunch. 2 tracks about 50 centimeters wide were left in the snow ahead. The track robot sped forward, and Chao Xing felt the wind whistling past his ears, surprised and delighted. So fast. The track robot's mobility is beyond my expectations. Chao Xing continued. "Track robot, full speed ahead." The track robot responded with a mechanical sound. Acknowledged. "Master." Zoom. Its energy core began to rotate quickly, switching to high-energy mode. At this moment, the track robot's move speed increased again, directly reaching a speed of 30 kilometers per hour. Remember, this was on snow. A speed of 30 kilometers per hour was already quite astonishing. Woohoo! So fast. Chao Xing, thrilled, watched as the scenery around him rapidly receded. Andrew and the others at the mine entrance looked at Chao Xing riding on the track robot in the snowy field, exchanging glances with each other. After making a few turns, Chao Xing maneuvered the track robot back again. Then he looked at Lu Muxue standing beside and said, "Muxue, hop on." Chao Xing commanded the track robot to extend an arm in an inviting gesture. Lu Muxue, her eyes filled with curiosity, stepped onto the mechanical hand, then was steadily lifted as her view began to rise. Soon, she was seated beside Chao Xing. Chao Xing asked, "Are you sitting firmly?" Lu Muxue nodded gently. "Yes." Chao Xing said, "Good. Then let's go return trip." Andrew and Assam received the command and began moving across the vast snowy land. 4 robots followed closely behind. Thud, thud, thud. The advance of the 8 figures was swift. With the robots, their mobility had significantly increased. This place was 7 kilometers from the camp, which previously took over an hour to reach. But now, at this speed, it would only take a little over 10 minutes to return to the camp. It was a considerable improvement. Whoosh, whoosh. The cold wind blew past the ears. The track robot advanced swiftly and steadily. But there might still be some hidden obstacles like loose stones or branches beneath the snow. Although these would be crushed by the tracks, they still caused some bumps. Lu Muxue, somewhat nervous, instinctively grabbed Chao Xing's wrist. As if finding a source of strength, she suddenly calmed down. Ahead, Andrew rode on the Frostwolf. Assam was on all 4s along with 4 robots. The group was making a grand procession across this vast snowy field. As for Sarah, Chao Xing sent her to scout the surrounding environment. A few minutes later, they had advanced about 3 kilometers. At that moment, Sarah appeared in front of Chao Xing. "Stop." Chao Xing hurriedly had the team halt and then asked, "Sarah, what's up?" Sarah replied calmly, "A battle is happening ahead." "Battle?" Chao Xing asked in confusion. "Who?" Sarah replied, "A group of hunters. They are besieging an ice plain mammoth." Hunters and a mammoth? At this moment, the druid nearby was also puzzled. An ice plain mammoth is a transitory creature on the snowfield, a gregarious animal. With the hunter's strength, they shouldn't be able to handle such a powerful creature. It seemed Sarah understood Andrew's confusion. Sarah shook her head. It's a lone juvenile mammoth, and it fell into the hunter's trap. Sarah shook her head, saying, it was a lone juvenile mammoth, but it fell into the hunter's trap. Hearing this, anger flashed in the druid's eyes. These damned hunters, destroying those city-states wasn't enough. Now they've set their claws on the sacred mammoth. These destroyers of nature must be punished. He looked at Chao Xing and bowed respectfully. Lord, please help the poor mammoth. Chao Xing pondered for a moment, then said, let's go over and take a look first. He didn't immediately decide to take action, but wanted to assess the hunter's strength. Sarah nodded and then turned to lead the way. The group changed direction. A minute or two later, they arrived at the spot where Sarah had discovered the battle. It was a canyon with a nearly 100-meter-wide fissure ahead. Several giant tree trunks, each about 100 meters long, served as bridges over the fissure. One of the tree bridges appeared to have broken, and something had fallen below. However, the canyon wasn't deep, only a few dozen meters high. They heard shouting from below the canyon. Throw the net. Quickly, throw the net. Pull in the chains, restrain its movements. Don't let the mammoth escape. Following the sound, they looked down. Below the canyon, a group of masked humans with swords, spears, and long swords were besieging a massive creature, entirely grayish-white. Standing nearly 5 meters tall, its body was covered in grayish-white fur and had curved tusks over 2 meters long. Chao Xing's heart stirred. This was a mammoth, an extinct creature on Blue Star. At the moment, numerous spears were stabbed into the ice-plain mammoth's body, with blood seeping from each wound. A series of thorny capture nets covered it, with spikes digging into its flesh. Moreover, its forelimbs were bound with iron chains, with over a dozen hunters holding the chains tightly, severely restraining its movements. The mammoth let out continuous, angry cries. Moo moo. Chao Xing glanced at the mammoth's attributes. Ice Plain Mammoth, level 20. Race, beast. Rank, second order boss, level creature. Life value, 3823/15023. Attack power, 974/1056. Attributes, power 414, agility 358, spirit 361, constitution 495. Skill, Ice Plain Roar. Emits an ear-splitting howl, stunning surrounding enemies, reducing their defensive power by 100. Effect lasts 3 seconds. Tusk Slash launches enemies into the air, dealing 180% attack power damage, adding 2 stacks of level 5 bleeding effect. Mammoth Trample lifts forelimbs and stomps heavily, dealing 300% damage to enemies beneath, and inflicting 80% vibration damage to enemies within a 100-meter radius, causing 3 seconds of dizziness. Frenzy Charge enters a frenzy state, sprinting rapidly, increasing move speed by 200%. Targets with less power are 100% knocked away. Talent, Giant Beast Physique, life value increased by an additional 30%. Talent, Cold Resistance. Status, bleeding, poisoned, severe injury, broken bone. Chao Xing's eyes slightly moved. Goodness, a level 20 boss level monster. These attributes are truly formidable. But clearly, the mammoth was not in a good state now. It had fallen into the meticulously prepared trap of these hunters. The key point was that it was being besieged by at least 20 to 30 hunters. Spears pierced its skin, bringing up sprays of blood. Its blood volume was steadily decreasing. The snow-covered ground had already been stained red with the mammoth's blood. Moo! The mammoth raised its head to let out an angry roar, trying to break free from the hunter's control. However, its hind legs were severely broken, making it difficult even to stand. The hunters beside them continued to hold onto the chains with great effort, not giving it any chance of escape. One of the elite hunters laughed loudly, saying, "Hold on, brothers. This mammoth won't last much longer. Our camp hasn't had any meat for a long time. Once we hunt this mammoth, it will provide at least half a month's worth of food, and the leader will definitely reward us well." Upon hearing this, the other hunters were filled with morale and enthusiasm. Just then, a small-framed hunter, eager to display his bravery, rushed forward holding a spear. Then, seizing the moment when the ice-plain mammoth wasn't watching, he leapt high, gripping the spear tightly, and fiercely stabbed at the mammoth's neck. Splurt! Half of the spear was directly embedded. Moo! The mammoth raised its head to let out a tragic cry. The hunter exclaimed excitedly, "I did it! I did it! I hit the mammoth's vital part. I'm the bravest warrior of our light church. The leader will surely appreciate me." At this moment, the mammoth swung its trunk fiercely. Bang! The hunter was instantly knocked flying. -1074. A huge damage number floated up. The hunter flew tens of meters away and landed heavily against a rock, immediately lifeless. The other hunters were terrified and shouted angrily, "Damn it! Little Jack is dead. Full attack! We can't let Little Jack's death be in vain." A barrage of ranged attacks rained down on the ice-plain mammoth's head. -24, -37, -56, -32, -147. A series of damage numbers floated up. Among them, many were bleeding damage. The mammoth's blood volume poured out like water, quickly dropping below 2,000. The mammoth, too, seemed to have exhausted its last bit of strength. It whimpered and collapsed like a small mountain. Rumble. The mammoth's fall was tremendously dramatic. A hunter exclaimed excitedly, "The mammoth is down! Hurry, kill it!" The hunters charged forth like a pack of hungry wolves. This mammoth was still in its juvenile stage, not as strong as those adult mammoths. It should be known that any adult mammoth stood over 10 meters high, with strength at least level 30 to 40. The fallen mammoth seemed to realize its impending death, tears glistening in its eyes. Seeing this, Andrew's eyes showed reluctance. He knelt down beside Chao Xing, pleading, "Lord, please, save this poor child." Chao Xing nodded. "Stand up. Andrew, these believers of the evil god deserve extermination. I will save this mammoth." Chao Xing had just been assessing the strength of the hunters below. Now, he had come to a conclusion. Below, there was one elite hunter at level 15, 5 second-order hunters above level 10, and the rest were regular hunters below level 10. This level of strength, his recruited creatures could easily handle. Upon hearing this, tears welled up in Andrew's eyes, and he said emotionally, "Nature will thank you, merciful Lord. Your actions have moved Andrew. Loyalty has increased, current loyalty, 93. Chao Xing nodded secretly. Andrew's loyalty has also been raised. Soon he will have the second member of the territory with 100 loyalty. Chao Xing stood on the back of the track robot and gave the order, "Now, everyone, move out and take down all the hunters below." Assam was the first to draw his long sword. "I swear to defend the Lord's honor." Frostwolf Knights, move out. He rode on the Frostwolf and performed a leap of faith. But from such great heights, even the Frostwolf would suffer severe injuries if it jumped down. So Assam wasn't that foolish. Instead, he used the protruding rocks at the canyon's edge to make several agile leaps, landing safely on the ground. At the same time, the remaining 3 robots and Sarah also began to take action. Andrew directly transformed into the giant bear form, then roared ferociously. Roar! The terrifying sound waves echoed through the canyon. The group of hunters paused their attack, looking up in confusion. What is that? It seems like a white bear, and there are other humans? Simultaneously, riding the Frostwolf, Assam had already charged in front of the hunters. An enemy! Stop him for me! The elite hunter shouted. The other hunters quickly entered battle status, and 5 or 6 hunters instantly charged forward to surround Assam. Assam fearlessly faced enemies several times his number and boldly drew his sword. Swish! Swish, swish! -372, -243, -354, -271. He wielded the Frost Wolf swordsmanship with fierce momentum, as the Frost Wolf under his feet continuously swiped its claws, sending the hunters flying. Bang! Bang, bang! Seeing his companions being swatted away, the elite hunter realized he was facing a tough opponent. He ordered, "All of you, go up together, capture this guy, and present him to the Lord Leader." Just then, from the other side of the canyon, the three robots had already slid down a steep slope. Boom, boom, boom. The roar of machines reverberated. More reinforcements. The elite hunter's face showed surprise. Just then, he suddenly felt a chill on the back of his neck. A feeling of impending death enveloped him. Sarah, at some unknown point, had already crept up behind the elite hunter. The shadow blade was silently and seamlessly deployed. Puff! 1764. A terrifying damage number appeared. The elite hunter felt a horrifying wound appearing on his back. What kind of attack is this? The elite hunter gasped and was just about to flee. But the shadow behind him was like a bone-chilling curse returning to entangle him again. Once targeted by Sarah, there was absolutely no chance of escape. And beside him, Andrew transformed into a frenzied giant bear, swatting and tearing every hunter beside the mammoth. Your territory member, Andrew, killed Hunter LV8, gaining 80 experience points. Combat personnel gained 40 experience points. Your territory member, Assam, killed Hunter LV7, gaining 70 experience points. Combat personnel gained 35 experience points. Notifications of experience points acquisition continuously appeared. Chao Xing stood atop the canyon, quietly observing the battle below. Such a scene did not yet require his intervention. 2 minutes later, the battle was nearing its end. Only a few hunters remained struggling on the battlefield below. "Let's go, Mushiwe. We should head down too." After speaking, Chao Xing, along with Lu Mushiwe, jumped from the back of the track robot. Leaving the track robot at the top of the canyon, they slowly slid down. By the time they descended, the battle was already over. Sarah ended the elite hunter at level 15 with a single strike. The system prompt appeared. Territory member, Sarah Blade Dance, killed elite hunter LV15, gaining 450 experience points. You gained 225 experience points. Simultaneously, a white light rose from Chao Xing's body. Your level has increased. Current level, 6. This level up awarded Power +1, Agility +2, Spirit +4, Constitution +2. Chao Xing felt a mysterious power arise within him once more. Satisfied, Chao Xing nodded, then directly ordered, "Assam, Sarah, clean the battlefield. Andrew, you come with me." The bloodlust in Andrew's eyes gradually faded, having turned him into a complete beast just moments ago. In a short while, reverent gaze returned to his eyes. At this moment, Andrew respectfully followed beside Chao Xing and approached the Ice Plain Mammoth. Chao Xing glanced at the current status of the mammoth. Ice Plain Mammoth. Blood volume, 1104/15023. Status, bleeding, broken bone, poison, near death. A multitude of negative statuses. The condition of this Ice Plain Mammoth was dire, teetering on the verge of death. Moreover, due to bleeding and poisoning, its life value continually drained. Over its head continuously flickered -5, -6 purple numbers. Chao Xing frowned. This mammoth is too severely injured, quite troublesome. Lu Mushiwe unconsciously clenched her fists, a look of distress on her face. "Moo!" The mammoth lay on the ground, emitting a weak cry of anguish from its mouth. It seemed to know its end was near. Andrew, with a look of mercy, stepped forward to gently stroke the mammoth's head. "Poor child." Andrew turned, gazing pleadingly towards Chao Xing. "Lord Leader, do you have a way to save this mammoth?" Chao Xing did not answer, instead attempting to cast an ice healing skill on the mammoth. A system prompt appeared. Cannot use healing skill on non-friendly units. Chao Xing's brow furrowed slightly. Then he shook his head. "Andrew, my power can only be used on my subjects, not for rescuing the mammoth." Upon hearing this, a trace of despair flashed through Andrew's eyes. How could this be? Numbers indicating damage continued to appear above the mammoth's head on the ground, with the count falling below 1,000. Andrew sighed. He knew he was powerless to do anything more, able only to accompany the mammoth through its final journey of life. Mumu. The mammoth's breath grew weaker by the minute. At this moment, Chao Xing seemed to recall something. After slaying the giant spider before, the system had awarded a pet contract. He wondered whether it could be used on such formidable creatures as the mammoth. If possible, turning the mammoth into a friendly creature would likely allow him to heal it, right? With this idea in mind, Chao Xing decided to give it a try. Andrew, can you communicate with it? Andrew lifted his head and replied, Lord Leader, I can attempt some simple communication. Chao Xing nodded. All right, communicate with it to see if it would like to become my pet and sign a pet contract with me. Only by becoming my pet can I provide it with assistance. Andrew paused, seemingly seeing a glimmer of hope. He said excitedly, I will try my best to persuade this child. The mammoth race was powerful, yet also proud. In Andrew's memory, few warriors could tame such creatures. Mammoths would rather die than submit to other beings. But now, for the sake of its survival, Andrew could only try to persuade it. Andrew placed his bare paw on the mammoth, emitting some peculiar syllables. The mammoth wearily rolled its eyes, looking at Chao Xing, then at Andrew, seemingly also making a difficult decision. After a moment, it uttered a low whimper. Moo! In the next instant, a look of joy appeared in Andrew's eyes. Andrew turned around and said excitedly, Lord, this mammoth has agreed. It is willing to become your pet. Please take it under your command and heal it now. Andrew appeared very eager, as the mammoth's blood volume had dwindled to just over 500 as time passed. Its breath grew weaker and weaker. Hearing the mammoth agree, Chao Xing was somewhat surprised, then delighted. After all, this mammoth was a boss-level creature and still in its juvenile stage, which meant it had great potential. If it could become his pet and be paired with his talent, it would surely grow to be very powerful in the future. But for now, he decided to first sign a contract with it. Chao Xing took out the pet contract scroll from his backpack. Basic pet contract. Green can be used on one wild creature to make it your exclusive pet, with a success rate of 5%, 20%. The success rate of his contract scroll was very low. But now, since the mammoth had already agreed, it would not resist. So, the success rate of this contract scroll had reached 100%. Do you want to use the pet contract scroll to sign a contract with the Ice Plane Mammoth LV-20? Yes. The scroll in Chao Xing's hand disappeared, turning into a ball of white light that hit the mammoth. At the same time, the mammoth seemed to sense something. Its body moved a little. A moment later, Chao Xing felt a strange sensation in his heart. In the unseen world, he felt as if he had established some sort of bond with this mammoth. A system prompt appeared. Contract successful. Ice Plane Mammoth has become your pet. Territory population +5. Chao Xing was taken aback. Did it actually take up 5 of my population? However, thinking of the mammoth's strength, it was not too surprising. In front of Chao Xing, an attribute panel appeared. Ice Plane Mammoth. Unnamed. Race, Beast. Detailed attributes. Same as above. Satiety, 75. Loyalty, 80. Status, near death. It can also be named. Chao Xing thought for a moment, then said, From now on, you'll be called Dabai. Mammoth. Dabai naming successful. Ooh, Dabai responded softly on the ground. Chao Xing looked at its continuously depleting life value, then turned to Lu Muxue and said, Muxue, throw a few purification skills at Dabai first. Your purification skill level is not high right now, so you might need to do it several times to remove all of its negative statuses. Lu Muxue nodded. Okay, Axing. Then, she raised the night long sword, lifting it above her head. A rainbow-colored aurora gathered at the tip of her sword and then descended directly into the mammoth's body. May holy aurora bless you. In an instant, one layer of the mammoth's poison status was removed. At the same time, Chao Xing also raised his magic wand and cast an ice healing skill. The system prompt for talent activation appeared. Above the Bai's head, numbers appeared. +25, plus 25. Debai's life value slowly restored. However, because of its severe injuries, the healing effect was not very significant. Similarly, damage numbers continually appeared above its head. Dash 14, dash 7, dash 8. The life volume regained per second barely offset Debai's losing blood volume. If it wasn't for Chao Xing having the Eternal Power talent, even if another Frost Mage adopted the mammoth as a pet, they would have watched it die due to insufficient healing. The current problem was to first halt the mammoth's injuries. Chao Xing said, "Andrew, clear away those spears and iron chains from Debai's body. You must stop the bleeding first." Andrew's loyalty had almost surpassed Assam's, and he followed Chao Xing's orders almost unquestioningly. He respectfully said, "As you command, merciful Lord." Then he stretched out a bare paw and pulled out the spears and arrows from the mammoth's body one by one. Pop, 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 dash 74, dash 56. Each time he extracted one, the mammoth let out a painful wail and a damage number appeared above its head. Fortunately, with Lu Muxiue continuously casting Purification Book and the ongoing healing from Ice Healing Skill, the wounds quickly stopped bleeding. At the same time, the damage numbers above the mammoth's head gradually decreased. Chao Xing breathed a sigh of relief. Next, it was just a matter of waiting for Debai's blood volume to slowly recover. However, with its massive blood volume of 15,000, it would take a long time just to recover. Everyone waited silently. Meanwhile, Assam and Sarah had also finished clearing the battlefield. Assam approached Chao Xing and handed over several cloth bags. "Lord, these are the things found on those hunters." Chao Xing nodded and took them. Obtained coins *642. Today, they gained 642 coins, and a smile appeared on Chao Xing's lips. At the same time, Sarah also handed something over to Chao Xing. It was a pair of gray pants, made from an unknown material and covered with layers of scales. After Chao Xing received it, a system prompt appeared. Obtain scale lower body, green, *1. It was another green item, and Chao Xing looked at Sarah with surprise. "This is," Sarah said calmly. "This was stripped from that hunter captain's body. It's the only thing on him that seemed valuable." Chao Xing laughed and praised, "Sarah, well done." Sarah pursed her lips and turned her head away, seemingly indifferent to Chao Xing's compliment. Chao Xing didn't mind and checked the attributes of this piece of equipment. Scale lower body, green. Quality fine. Armor 5/7. Attached effect, agility +3. Attached effect, fish scale armor. When attacked physically, negates 5 damage from power. Chao Xing nodded in satisfaction. "Not bad. These pants add a lot to my armor." He put them on directly, and his survivability increased once again. After a few minutes of waiting, the Ice Plain Mammoth's blood volume had recovered to over 10,000. However, when its blood volume hit 12,000, it stopped rising, because it had entered a severe broken bone status, reducing its maximum blood volume by 20%. Moo. Debai struggled to stand up, seemingly trying to stand up again. However, due to the fracture in its right leg, it took several attempts to barely stand. Moreover, in this state, even standing, Debai couldn't move. Chao Xing said, "Andrew, help Debai recover." Andrew nodded, understanding what Chao Xing meant. He went behind Debai and lifted its thick elephant leg, comforting, "Bear with it for a moment, child." With that, he twisted abruptly. Crack! A crisp sound of bone dislocation emerged. *2724. Moo! Debai let out a pained cry, and its massive body trembled. Andrew gently stroked it, seeming to comfort it. Debai obediently stood still, trembling all over as it persisted. Moments later, as the ice healing skill continued to take effect, Debai's blood volume rose again, and when it fully recovered its blood volume, Debai returned to a peak state. Compared to a few minutes ago, when the mammoth lay dying on the ground, it now seemed reborn. The mammoth lifted its trunk, letting out a roar. Moo! This roar was full of vigor and had a powerful penetration. The snow on both sides of the canyon shook down. Everyone couldn't help but cover their ears, feeling their blood churning. A level 20 boss-level creature was truly formidable. Chao Xing covered his ears and shouted, "Dabai, don't be too loud." Hearing Chao Xing's voice, the mammoth immediately stopped roaring and lowered its head. Its copper bell-like eyes stared at the man in front of it. It knew it was this human who saved it. Dabai walked to Chao Xing's side, lightly rubbing his body with its trunk. Hoo-hoo! It appeared very affectionate with Chao Xing. Chao Xing happily patted its elephant trunk. A system prompt appeared. Due to your healing of the pet, Dabai, loyalty has been increased. Current loyalty, 90. After reaching 100 loyalty, you will completely gain this pet's trust, and the mount functionality will be unlocked. Chao Xing's eyes lit up. Loyalty at 100 unlocks the mount. Woohoo! That's wonderful. After all, compared to sitting on these robots, riding a mammoth was far more impressive. At the same time, Assam came over to report after exploring the surrounding terrain. Lord, I checked both sides of the nearby canyon, but couldn't find a place for the mammoth to go up. Its size is too large. After listening to Assam's report, Chao Xing scanned the surroundings. This canyon was 70 to 80 meters deep. The terrain on both sides was steep, and there were occasionally some large, protruding stones. Chao Xing and his team could climb up easily, but with Dabai's large size, it would be somewhat difficult to ascend. Chao Xing couldn't just leave Dabai here and lead the people up himself. After all, this was a level 20 boss-level creature with extremely strong combat power. After thinking for a moment, Chao Xing said, "Let's go. Proceed along the depths of this canyon and see if there is another place to go up." "Yes, Lord. Following your orders, Andrew is willing to charge into battle for you." Assam and the others received the order and moved toward the depths of the canyon. As for the track robots above, under Chao Xing's command, they moved along the crevice, following the footsteps of the group. Dabai followed at the back of the team, its huge size appearing quite imposing. Thud! Thud thud! Its thick elephant legs stomped down like an earthquake, creating a heavy sound with each step. With the mammoth joining in, Chao Xing's team became even more formidable. At the same time, since the track robots hadn't come down, Chao Xing lost his means of transportation. He looked at the nearby shovel loader robot. Its shovel was 50 centimeters deep, nearly a meter wide, more than enough for him and Lu Mushua to sit inside. So, Chao Xing commanded the shovel loader robot to lower its shovel, and he and Lu Mushua sat inside. Creak, creak. The sound of the mechanical arm turning came forth. Chao Xing's view began to rise as he looked forward, delightedly saying, "Let's drive the excavator." The team began moving again, maintaining a decent speed. At this moment, Chao Xing glanced at the time overhead. Countdown to nightfall. 2 hours, 17 minutes. Current temperature, minus 53 degrees Celsius. We have 2 hours until nightfall. Seems like we need to hurry to find a way up and return to the camp. At this time, Lu Mushue, sitting next to him, reminded, axing, "It seems like there will be a snowfall tonight." Chao Xing nodded. He also remembered this, although there was no sign of snow yet. Once it started snowing, the temperature would drop rapidly, and the road condition would become more complicated due to the snow cover. This would slow them down even further. He needed to lead people back to the camp quickly, or else they would have to spend the night outside. Chao Xing ordered everyone speed up. "Sarah, go check ahead first." Everyone accelerated their pace, and the 4 robots also entered a high-energy consumption state. Sarah's figure vanished without a trace. Tap, 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 tap. Dense footsteps echoed. The surroundings whizzed past swiftly. This canyon seemed to have formed due to some geological movement. The ground was relatively flat, occasionally showing 1 or 2 boulders covered in snow. Half an hour later, they had advanced about 3 to 4 kilometers. Sarah appeared silently again. As an assassin, she not only had strong assassination capabilities, but also had strong reconnaissance skills, more suitable for exploration than Assam. Sarah said blandly, 1 kilometer ahead, there is a camp with a large gathering of hunters. After listening to Sarah's report, Chao Xing was taken aback. There is actually a hunter's camp here? However, recalling the scene where those hunters were sieging to buy. It wasn't surprising that there was a hunter camp nearby. Chaoxing nodded and continued to inquire. "How strong are those hunters?" Sarah replied, "There are about 40 hunters in the camp, most being inconsequential ants, with 4 second-order experts. However, I sensed an aura there that is quite strong, almost as strong as this mammoth's energy." After Sarah finished speaking, Chaoxing also fell into thought. Being comparable to the Bai, it meant there might be a level 20 boss-level creature there, along with 3 or 4 elite-level hunters. That was quite a strong force. Chaoxing weighed the war power on both sides in his mind and reached a conclusion. They were about evenly matched. However, if a fight really broke out, while they had the numerical advantage, all his creatures had the ice healing skill and frost armor enhancement, naturally an infinite healing status. Very adept at such one-against-many combat. Just as Chaoxing was contemplating, Sarah added, "Next to that camp, I saw stairs piled up with giant stones. We can climb up from there." Hearing this, Chaoxing's eyes lit up. Stairs meant they could let the mammoth climb up and then return to the camp with him. Chaoxing declared, "What the hell are we waiting for then? Everyone, let's bring judgment upon these mad cultists." Assam unsheathed his long sword and was the first to respond, willing to charge into battle for the Lord. Andrew extended his sharp claws. "The power of nature shall guide my path." The group began to charge rapidly towards the front. 2 minutes later, from a distance, they spotted a small base built with wood and stones in the canyon ahead. Nearby, several hunters, wielding swords and knives, were patrolling. At this moment, a few hunters stared into the distance, whispering to each other. "Strange, why hasn't Lamish returned yet?" "Yeah, they've been out most of the day. Usually they're back in half a day when hunting." "Do you think Lamish has found some big prey this time, being out so long?" Upon hearing this, other hunters grew a bit expectant. Just then, they vaguely saw several figures appear in the distance. "Seems like someone is coming. Is it Lamish and the others?" When these hunters looked carefully, they immediately saw an armored knight riding a frost wolf and a druid on all fours. Beside them were 3 robots charging towards them. These hunters, after a moment of initial confusion, instantly shouted, "Enemies! Enemy attack! Enemy attack!" The alarm spread quickly. The hunters, being a notorious cult force on this continent, were enemies to all, and any creature they saw was considered a foe. Simultaneously, chaos erupted throughout the hunter camp, with numerous hunters wielding weapons rushing out of tents. The camp was in utter chaos, with a large number of hunters rushing out of the tents, weapons in hand. Chaoxing and Lu Muxue still sat on the shovel of the robot. In front of them, a system prompt appeared. Discovered special area, medium hunter camp. This is a medium gathering place for hunters, guarded by a black-robed priest from the Light Church. Extremely dangerous. Proceed with caution. The black-robed priest must be the boss-level powerhouse, Sarah mentioned. However, Chaoxing hesitated not for a moment, urging Assam and the others to charge forward. The hunters charged over as well, shouting as they advanced, "Kill all these intruders. Offer them to the Lord Leader." Both sides closed in on each other. Assam, Andrew, and the 2 other robots immediately engaged in combat with the hunters. Swish, swish, swish. The long sword in Assam's hand flashed with a cold light, leaving sword wounds on several hunters nearby. -274, -295, -285. A series of damage numbers floated up. Roar! The frost wolf at their feet pounced on a hunter, tearing into him frantically. "Ah, damn it! Get this guy off me!" The hunter's screams echoed, and in the blink of an eye, they were silenced. Andrew was equally fierce, almost completely abandoning defense. He entered giant bear form, swinging his massive bear paws. Boom! Boom! Each hunter hit by his paws was either killed or severely injured. -427, -463, -485. In less than 10 seconds from the start of the battle, at least 4 or 5 hunters were killed outright by Assam and Andrew. Experience prompts constantly sounded in Chao Xing's ears. Meanwhile, various thrown spears and arrows rained down on Andrew and Assam. A string of damage numbers floated up. -27, -56, -32, -47. They allowed the hunters' attacks to fall upon them undisturbed, because they believed the Lord's ice healing skill would restore their blood volume. And these attacking hunters would soon face the fiercest counterattacks from Assam and Andrew. Roar! Kill! Meanwhile, the two ground drilling robots also transformed into attack mode, their gigantic drills spinning madly, bulldozing everything in their path. Buzzing, the hunters were thrown off their feet, their bodies ripped apart. -237, -231, -222, -234. Thick clusters of damage numbers floated up. What the hell are these things? My leg! The hunters hit by the drills screamed in agony. As for Sarah, she quietly approached the hunters wielding bows and arrows. She silently delivered the Shadow Blade. -734, -796, -1672. Terrifying damage numbers floated up, and the hunter archers silently fell. Less than a minute into the battle, the hunters showed signs of collapse. Just then, four hunters wearing black cloaks, clearly more powerful, charged out. They saw Andrew and the others slaughtering wildly and the hunters collapsing. Among them, one hunter wielding a chain hammer looked particularly grim. He barked orders, "Go, I'll handle that giant bear. Pick your targets, one each." The next moment, he accelerated abruptly, charging towards Andrew. Where? He swung the massive chain hammer, making it roar noisily. And as he reached Andrew, he hurled the chain hammer with a roar. "Die for me!" Bang! A dull thud of flesh. Caught off guard, Andrew was struck directly by the hammer, suffering a heavy blow to his back. -388. Andrew's blood volume instantly dropped by a chunk. The hunter's eyes gleamed with glee. Yet this only ignited the killing intent within Andrew. Roar! Andrew roared, charging at him like a frenzied giant beast. Meanwhile, the other three cloaked hunters engaged Assam and the two ground drilling robots. These four hunters were strong, evenly matched with Andrew and Assam. Though the other two robots had comparable attack power to elite-level creatures, they were being suppressed when going one-on-one. With Andrew and the others tied down, the slaughter in the camp gradually abated. Then, more hunters surrounded them. The situation seemed to turn unfavorable. Meanwhile, Chao Xing, observing from 200 meters away, also saw the hunter's attributes. Hunter Vanguard Warrior, LV-15. Rank, Second Order Elite Level Creature. Life Value, 3724/4537. Attack Power, 354, 377. Skills, Chain Hammer Heavy Strike. Throw the chain hammer, deal 120% attack damage to the enemy. 50% chance to cause dizziness. Maximum attack distance 15 m. Block, assuming defense stance. 50% chance to negate 80% of incoming damage. Big Swing Hammer. Swing the chain hammer. Enter a high-speed rotation state. Deal multiple attack damage to all enemies. Hunter Vanguard Swordsman LV-15. Rank, Second Order Elite Level Creature. Life Value, 4131/4368. Attack Power, 343, 366. Skills, Uppercut Cross/Eagle Strike. These four hunters were all level 15 elite creatures, with extremely powerful attributes. Lu Mushua said worriedly, "Axing, should we go up and help?" Chao Xing shook his head. "No need, it's not our time to act yet." After all, Chao Xing still had a trump card up his sleeve. Then, he looked behind and said, "Goodbye, go." Upon hearing Chao Xing's command, a terrifying roar came from behind a massive rock. Move! The terrifying sound echoed throughout the canyon, making the hunters' faces change immediately. What animal is that roar from? What a terrifying aura! The next moment, a towering 5-meter-tall, terrifying creature with two gruesome tusks charged in from a distance. Thud, 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 thud. The ground shook wildly. The Bai, in its full-on state, resembled a charging giant beast. Fear appeared in the hunter's eyes. Mammoth! It's a mammoth! Damn it! How is there a mammoth here? It's coming at us. Before the hunters could react, the Bai stormed into the battlefield. It seemed to know these were the very guys who had been hunting it down, almost costing it its life. The Bai rushed to the hunter's side, tilting its head. Its curved tusks flashed with a chilling light. PFF, PFF, -1247, -1341. Two hunters were pierced straight through, dead as they could be. Then it lifted its front hooves and stomped heavily. Boom! After a terrifying tremor, another two hunters were crushed into mincemeat. The formidable might of the level 20 boss-level creature was apparent. At this moment, the four cloaked hunters engaging Assam looked grim. Send more people. Trap this mammoth. Once we finish the fight here, we'll come to help. Yet, before he finished speaking, a terrifying roar resounded again. Moo! The Bai had unexpectedly activated the Frenzy Charge skill. The Bai directly activated the Frenzy Charge skill. Boom! 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 At this moment, the mammoth, like a runaway train, charged recklessly through the entire campsite. One tent after another was toppled over by it. All the hunters along the way were knocked flying. Puff! 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 -742, -854, -763. In a frenzy charge status, the Bai's move speed increased by 200%. Just the impact alone could fatally injure an ordinary hunter. At this moment, a shadow swiftly darted out from the camp. His movements were incredibly fast, even quicker than Sarah's. Like a phantom, he appeared behind a Bai. Then a cold flash flickered. Swish! Swish! -673, -672. Two damage numbers floated up, taking away over 1,000 of Dabai's blood volume. Dabai, in pain, turned his head, swinging his trunk over. However, this guy's movements were incredibly nimble. With a quick dodge, he evaded Dabai's attack. The two briefly separated. Only then did Chao Xing see what the guy looked like. He was a man dressed in a black robe, shrouded in shadow, wearing a black mask. In his hands, two short knives glinted coldly. The opponent's attribute appeared in front of him. Hunter Black Robed Priest LV20. Rank, Second Order Boss Level Creature. Life Value, 8764, 8764. Attack Power, 843, 856. Skills, Double Cutting, deals 2 attacks with 80% attack power each to the enemy. Smoke Bomb, throws a choking smoke covering the enemy, causing 3 seconds of blindness and reducing 50 agility points. Ambush, skillfully circles behind the enemy, dealing 130% backstab damage. Flying Knife, throwing, launches 3 knives in succession at the enemy, each causing 70% damage and adding 1 layer of bleeding effect. Chao Xing's gaze sharpened. Finally, he came out. This guy was the most formidable presence in the camp that Sarah mentioned. Meanwhile, after a brief pause, the black-robed assassin charged again. With a flash of shadow, this time he appeared right at Dabai's abdomen. Swish! Swish! 2 more strikes, and Dabai's blood volume dropped again. Dabai crazily lifted its hooves, unleashing violent attacks. Boom! Boom! The ground trembled continuously. Debris flew everywhere. -23, -27. A few slight splatter damages appeared above the black-robed assassin's head. At this moment, even though Dabai had stronger attack power and life force than him, because of the opponent's agile moves, Dabai was almost being played around. Moreover, Dabai was frequently hit by the opponent, and its life value kept dropping. -725, -733, -754. In less than 20 seconds of battle, the black-robed assassin took away over 3,000 points of Dabai's life value. The black-robed assassin halted, then made a throat-slitting taunt at Dabai. This thoroughly infuriated Dabai. Roar! Dabai entered berserk mode, lifting its forehooves to stomp frantically. Lu Muxiue watched the battle nervously from the sidelines. Axing, Dabai seems to be losing. Chao Xing nodded. Both were boss-level creatures, but Dabai was indeed no match for the black-robed assassin. This was because Dabai's vast size provided powerful lethality, but made its movements rather clumsy. Chao Xing said, "Don't worry, this guy won't be arrogant for long. Dabai will have help soon." At this moment, the track robot slid down the giant stone steps to join the battle. On Sarah's side, she had silently taken out all the enemies. Under Chao Xing's command, Sarah headed straight towards the hunter black-robed priest. A shadow blade slashed across. The black robe suddenly felt a chill at his back, his expression changing drastically. At the critical moment, he quickly turned and thrust out his dagger. Ding! After a clash of metal, both sides saw each other's faces. The hunter black-robed priest looked at Sarah in surprise. Another expert? Sarah remained silent, her shadow blade slashing down again without hesitation. The black-robed assassin didn't back down, his two daggers creating afterimages. Ding! 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 In an instant, the two high-level assassins engaged in close combat. 2 seconds later, due to the attribute gap, Sarah was quickly suppressed. A victorious smile appeared in the black-robed assassin's eyes. "To deal with me, you're still too inexperienced." However, before his smile disappeared, Dabai seized the moment when he was distracted and swung his trunk directly. Bang! The hunter black-robed assassin was instantly sent flying. -1123. A large damage number floated up. The black-robed assassin hit the ground, spitting blood. "Cough! Mammoth, I'll kill you." Before he could finish speaking, Dabai, transformed into a berserk giant beast, charged at him fiercely. The black-robed assassin was just about to get up and fight back. A shadow blade silently sliced past his ear. The black-robed assassin's heart tightened, dodging in panic. However, he was still a step too slow. Whoosh! -684. A damage number floated up. The black-robed assassin touched the wound on his head and angrily shouted, "Damn it! How dare you two attack this priest? The Bright Church won't let you off." However, Sarah and Bai completely ignored his threats, launching a direct siege. The advantage quickly tilted towards Chao Xing's side. As for Assam's side, with the track robot joining, Chao Xing also sent the shovel robot over. In a 6-on-4 situation, the hunter elites were suppressed in all aspects. In no time, a hunter elite wielding an axe was knocked out by the shovel robot. Then Assam stabbed through his heart with a sword. Your territory member. Assam successfully killed Hunter Vanguard LV-15, gaining 450 experience value. Assam's level has increased, current level 11. Combat personnel gained 225 experience value. Chao Xing's eyes brightened. Assam leveled up too. Although leveling from 10 to 11 required more experience, Assam's outstanding performance in recent battles made it unsurprising. The remaining 3 elite hunters looked with horror at their fallen companion. Damn, Matai is dead. Now, the situation had turned into 6-on-3. Roar! With a roar, Andrew pinned down a hunter elite wielding a chain hammer. Then Andrew, without hesitation, clawed down. Puff! This elite hunter's head was pierced right through. Your territory member. Andrew successfully killed Hunter Vanguard LV-15, gaining 450 experience value. Frostwolf. Frost level has increased, current level 11. Combat personnel gained 225 experience value. Now, the situation had turned into 6-on-2. Chao Xing glanced over and directly ordered, Assam, Andrew, go help Dabai. Leave the battle here to the robots. Receive the order from Chao Xing. Assam and Andrew, without hesitation, abandoned their current opponents and rushed over to Dabai's side. At this moment, under the siege of Sarah and Dabai, the black-robed assassin's expression turned even darker. He struggled to deal with these two powerful beings. Now, with 2 more formidable foes charging in, he was almost certainly facing defeat. Damn it! Where did this batch of experts come from? How did they find my camp? And what the hell are those robots? The black-robed assassin was full of questions. But aside from these, he discovered something even more terrifying. These guys seemed to possess endless life force. That dark elf woman and the mammoth both clearly suffered from his attacks. But before long, their injuries fully healed, and they were vibrant and lively again. The black-robed assassin thought to himself, "This won't do. I can't outlast these guys. I need to find a way to leave here as soon as possible." He furrowed his brow, about to run away. However, every time, Sarah would cling to him like a shadow. Both being assassins, their combat awareness was extremely sharp. In fact, the Dark Elf Sarah Blade Dance possessed a stronger combat awareness than him. If not for having stronger attributes than Sarah, in a one-on-one situation, he was no match for her. "Who are you?" the black-robed assassin asked in horror. Before he finished speaking, he suddenly heard a whistling sound above his head. A thick elephant hoof slammed down. The black-robed assassin immediately felt a chill on his scalp. He rolled on the spot, narrowly avoiding Dabai's heavy strike. Boom! However, before he could stabilize, Assam's long sword and Andrew's sharp claws suddenly struck. This time he couldn't dodge. Splat! -327 -247. The beast mark activated. The black-robed assassin was knocked to the ground. His blood volume fell below 3,500. The shadow blade rapidly expanded in his pupils. In a moment of crisis, he could only roll backward once more. And at this moment, the phantom assassins Sarah, Andrew, and Assam all rushed in. At this instant, a premonition of death arose in this hunter-assassin's heart. "Damn it, Yuval guys, the Lord Leader won't let you off." Sarah and Assam completely ignored his threats. Splat, 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 -1341, -345, -473. The trio's wave of attacks took down over 2,000 points of the hunter priest's blood volume. Ugh! The black-robed priest spewed another mouthful of blood, ignoring his own pain, rolling away quickly to create distance. He took a deep breath, watching the mammoth charging and the 4 robots beside him, knowing that if he didn't leave, he'd be completely stuck here today. His gaze scanned each of them, his voice low. "I've memorized your appearances. Once I leave here, I will report this to the leader, and you will be pursued endlessly by our light church all across the Gale Snow Plain." With these words, he suddenly produced a round sphere and threw it to the ground. Bang! A cloud of smoke rapidly rose, enveloping everyone on the scene. Chao Xing, watching from distance, chuckled. "Oh, still daring to threaten me." Meanwhile, Assam and others lost their target. A moment later, a figure rushed out from a mist. Chao Xing, watching the scene from not far away, saw the figure and quickly warned, "That guy's escaped, stop him." Sarah immediately sensed it, swiftly emerging from a mist. By then, the black-robed assassin had already escaped 30 meters away. Without hesitation, Sarah drew a dagger and threw it directly. Whiz! The obstructive dagger hit its mark. The hunter priest grunted, a large damage number popping up above his head. -943. Yet, ignoring the attacks from behind and the negative status on him, he limped forward. The 20th level boss-level assassin, if determined to escape, was indeed hard to block. "Damn, do you think you can fly away like a duck at the mouth?" At this moment, a 1-meter-long, pitch-black metal item appeared in Chao Xing's hand. It was Barrett. Now that his constitution had improved, he could aim with it on his shoulder. Meanwhile, the hunter boss had already fled 100 meters away. The distance from Chao Xing was over 200 meters. Chao Xing took a deep breath. His eyes focused on the crosshair of Barrett. When the target overlapped with the crosshair, he fired without hesitation. Bang! A gunshot rang out. -874. This shot triggered the armor break effect. A blood hole suddenly appeared on the back of the fleeing hunter boss. His body stiffened. He turned around with difficulty, gave Chao Xing one last look, seemingly in disbelief. Then he fell over. A system prompt appeared. Successfully killed Hunter Black-Robed Priest. Level 20 boss, cross-level killing. Gained experience value 1,200 by 400%. acquired 4,800 experience points. Your level has increased, current level, 7. This level up resulted in Power +2, Agility +1, Spirit +5, Constitution +3. A white light appeared on Chaoxing's body. Everyone was dumbfounded, looking at the fallen corpse of the hunter boss. They all thought the hunter-assassin would truly escape this time. But at the crucial moment, their lord suddenly showcased a miraculous skill, resolving the enemy from hundreds of meters away. The lord's skills are truly profound and unpredictable. Watching the admiring gaze of his subjects, a barely noticeable smile appeared on Chaoxing's lips. Then, a second system prompt, bringing excitement to Chaoxing's eyes. Killed Hunter Priest, acquired loot, basic power heart, *1. Obtained strong boss level soul, purple, *1. Acquired silent stab, blue, *1. Obtained tavern construction blueprint, *1. Acquired skillful room, medium, *1. The prompt hadn't ended. Congratulations! As the first survivor across all servers to kill a boss-level creature, you receive a first kill reward. Frost Magic Shield Skill Book, purple, *1. You destroyed a medium-sized hunter camp, gaining 200 reputation value. What the hell? What the hell? What the hell? Chaoxing exclaimed repeatedly. A big explosion. This was truly a big explosion. Chaoxing first checked the purple soul in his backpack. Strong boss-level soul. Purple contains powerful soul waves. Can be used on an elite-level follower below the second order, with a high chance of evolving into a boss-level creature. Success probability of 50%, 80%. At this moment, a strong sense of joy flashed in Chaoxing's eyes. Whoa! It can actually evolve elite-level creatures to boss-level creatures. Chaoxing was shocked. Then his face lit up with immense joy. Evolving from elite level to boss level not only enhanced all attributes, but also allowed the learning of a new skill. It was truly a qualitative upgrade. Although using this boss level soul to enhance rank had a failure chance, the success probability was notably higher. Once successful, Chaoxing would have 2 boss level creatures. Chaoxing glanced around. Assam, Andrew, and Sarah on the field all met the usage conditions for this soul. Meanwhile, all the territory members could see the magical power contained in this soul. It allowed them to complete a transformation and advance to a higher level. A look of longing appeared in everyone's eyes. Even Sarah, usually aloof, couldn't help but glance toward Chaoxing. After pondering for a moment, Chaoxing directly tossed the soul to Sarah. Sarah caught it dumbfoundedly, looking at Chaoxing in disbelief. "Are you sure you want to give this to me?" Chaoxing nodded lightly. Clearly, among the 3 recruited creatures on the field, Sarah was the most suitable to use this soul. Once she became boss level, her already formidable combat power would receive a tremendous boost. Use it. I hope you can become the strongest assassin and restore the glory of the Shadow Holy Hall. Sarah's breathing became a bit rapid, her chest heaving under her tight clothes. A moment later, she nodded lightly, then turned her back, pretending not to care. However, Chaoxing saw a system prompt appear before him. Due to your generous donation, you have moved territory member. Sarah Blade Dance. Loyalty has increased. Current loyalty, 91. A smile appeared on Chaoxing's lips. Although Sarah pretended not to care, she already felt a strong sense of gratitude and recognition toward Chaoxing. Because loyalty didn't lie. A loyalty of 91 was close to the realm of self-sacrifice. By then, she would even be willing to sacrifice her life for Chaoxing. At this moment, Sarah absorbed the soul into her body immediately after receiving it. A powerful aura arose from her body. Chaoxing nodded. The evolution from elite to boss required some time. Additionally, there was a chance of failure with the soul, so Chaoxing wasn't certain if Sarah could successfully evolve to a boss-level creature. He shook his head and began examining the second purple item, which was a first kill reward given by the system. Frost Shield Skill Book, purple, a hidden skill of the Frost Mage, rumored to originate from a certain great witch demon. Skill effect. Apply a frost shield around yourself or an ally, reducing damage received by 20%. It releases frost breath on nearby enemy units every second, causing Spirit *1 frozen damage and reducing their move speed and attack speed by 20%. The shield lasts for 60 seconds, with a cooldown time of 120 seconds. Can choose to disable or enable. Holy crap! Chao Xing was once again shocked. The strength of this frost shield exceeded his expectations. It was a powerful skill that combined damage reduction, damage, and control, and the effect was very strong. If he had had this skill then, Dabai alone could have suppressed that black-robed priest. After all, a 20% damage reduction and slow was no joke. No wonder it's a purple skill, it's really fierce. Chao Xing was delighted and immediately clicked to learn it. Then he cast the skill on himself. Successfully cast the Frost Shield skill. The talent, Eternal Power, has taken effect. The skill has become permanent. Chao Xing instantly felt a circle of frost ice shield appear around him. The ice shield seemed incredibly hard and emitted a terrifying cold every second. Chao Xing looked at the maximum attack range of this cold aura. It was 1 meter around him. It seemed like a small range, but without doubt, it was also group attack damage. A strong sense of delight appeared in Chao Xing's eyes. Very good. This would greatly enhance the survival and combat capabilities of his followers. Meanwhile, Sarah had also completed her transformation. A system prompt appeared. Your territory member, Sarah Blade Dance, has completed the transformation. Advanced to a boss-level creature. All attributes increased by 30%. Learn new skill. Arclight Flash. A look of joy appeared on Chao Xing's face. Huh? It actually succeeded. Seems my luck isn't so bad after all. Then, he checked Sarah's new skill attributes. Arclight Flash. Charge forward at an extremely high speed, dealing 110% cutting damage to enemies along the path. This skill is great. Not only does it have a strong mobility, but it also deals decent damage. At this point, Sarah was also very satisfied with her current state. Looking at Chao Xing, she placed Shadow Blade on her chest, bent slightly, and said, "At your service, my lord." Chao Xing nodded and glanced at her attributes. Phantom Assassin, Sarah Blade Dance. Race, Dark Elf. Level 210624/100000. Second Order Boss Level Creature. Detailed attributes. Click to expand. Whether it was life value or attack power, everything had greatly increased. Now, if Sarah faced that black-robed assassin again, in a one-on-one situation, it would definitely be a one-sided crushing by Sarah. Chao Xing nodded in satisfaction. Then, he announced, "Search the supplies of this camp thoroughly. We shall prepare to return soon." All the recruited creatures on the field sprang into action upon hearing that. Then, Chao Xing took Lu Mushiwe and opened the gate of the hunter's camp. They began looting room by room. Everything inside was collected by Chao Xing. Obtained wood *62, obtained stone *23, obtained fine iron *7, obtained dry cheese *14, obtained salt *13, obtained coins *164, obtained fine iron *6, obtained raw meat *7, obtained iflussy wine *3, obtained vinegar *7, obtained coins *76, obtained. Every room had some supplies. Besides spices and food, Chao Xing also discovered 2 new items. Fine iron, blue, a finely forged metal with strong toughness. This stuff was essentially steel, which could be used to batch-produce blue-quality armor. Iflussy wine. Drinking it restores 200 life value, but there is a 30% chance of entering a drunken state. Produced by Rose Winery, popular among nobles and knights. Chao Xing put these 2 items away again. After spending roughly 10 more minutes, Chao Xing and Lu Mushiwe finally collected everything from the camp. They gathered quite a lot of vinegar, white sugar, olive oil, and other seasonings. Looking at the bottles and jars in his backpack, Chao Xing said with a smile, "Great harvest. We'll be able to enjoy food with seasoning in the future. Then, Chao Xing and Lu Muxue went into the last remaining room in the camp. This was also the place where that boss-level assassin charged out from. Upon entering, one saw a small wooden cabin with a furnace burning inside, and a small wooden table beside it. On the table lay a piece of yellowed parchment map. It seemed that due to the sudden circumstances, the black-robed priest hadn't had the chance to put away the map before rushing out. Chao Xing went over and picked it up. Gain Gale Snow Plain Map *1. Click to unfold in view. Chao Xing clicked on it. The map unfolded before him, revealing various symbols. There were rivers, mountains, beasts, and towns. In the upper left corner of the map, Chao Xing saw the sign of a large town, with its name written above. Doran Lake City. Chao Xing was taken aback. Wow, so Doran Lake City is there. He glanced at the distance, realizing it was over 1,000 kilometers from his current location. Based on the icons on the map, it looked like Doran Lake City was a large town with a dense population. Chao Xing thought, the distance is too far. It seems that this delivery task cannot be completed in the short term. Also, I don't know if the residents of this town have received the news that the hunters are planning a massacre soon. Shaking his head, he pushed these thoughts aside. Besides these icons, Chao Xing also saw on the map various sun symbols. These suns came in different sizes. One slightly larger sun was located right where they were. And about 10 kilometers further into the canyon, there was an even bigger sun. Suddenly, Chao Xing thought of something and exclaimed, "Oh my, are these markings indicating all the hunter camps' locations? Does this map mark all the hunter strongholds in the entire Gale Snow Plain?" Chao Xing felt his breath catch, realizing the importance of this map. From the battles before, it was clear that destroying these hunter camps would not only yield rewards, but also reputation value. Mastering these locations equated to mastering a wealth of benefits. Chao Xing exclaimed with excitement, "Just in time, I have a blueprint for a tavern. Once the tavern is built, attracting powerful followers will require high reputation value. When the reputation value isn't enough, I can just hit a few hunter camps and watch the reputation soar." Chao Xing thought merrily. At this time, Lu Mushue's voice interrupted his thoughts. "Axing, there's a storage box here." Hearing this, Chao Xing turned his gaze and saw a yellowed wooden box in the corner. Nodding, he said, "All right, I'll come take a look." Hunter storage box, blue, can be opened. A blue-grade storage box. This was a medium-sized camp, so the storage box grade was higher, and likewise, it might contain some good items. Chao Xing, rubbing his hands, felt a thrill of anticipation. Then he clicked to open it. Successfully opened the hunter's storage box. Obtained smoked fish *6. Obtained honey *3 jars. Obtained milk *5. Obtained white bear skin *1. Obtained basic level watchtower construction blueprint *1. Obtained Redania Centaur liquor *7. Obtained skill book, courage blessing. Obtained black diamond *1. So many things, and there's honey and milk. In this resource-scarce, icy world, the value of these two resources was unimaginable. Especially honey, a delicacy only nobles could enjoy. If the subjects like Dahua knew Chao Xing had brought back honey, they would undoubtedly jump with joy. Besides these, there was also a skill book and a blueprint. Chao Xing examined the attributes of a skill book. Courage Blessing, blue, condenses the power of Aurora, increasing the physical and magical attack power of friendly entities within a certain range by the equivalent of spiritual power *1.5, lasting 90 seconds, with a cooldown of 200 seconds. Upon reading the attributes of a skill book, Chao Xing was astonished. Wow, isn't this one of the auxiliary divine skills of the early stage Aurora Knight? The Courage Blessing? Lu Mushue's spiritual power wasn't high at the moment, so the attack boost wasn't as powerful as imagined. However, as she leveled up and her spiritual power grew, one blessing could dramatically boost the attack power of the entire team. So, Chao Xing directly gave her the skill book. "Mushue, learn it." "Okay." Lu Mushue nodded lightly. then clicked to learn the skill. Moments later, with a joyful smile, Lu Mushue said, "It's done. Axing." Chao Xing nodded in acknowledgement. At this moment, he held a diamond glowing with black crystal luster in his hand. The diamond was thumb-sized, and under the firelight, it appeared extremely bright. Black diamond, special material, embedding it in equipment can increase charm by 20 points. An exceedingly rare mineral, regarded by nobles as a symbol of status. Any black diamond will trigger a frenzy and can fetch a high price at auction. Reading the description, Chao Xing was stunned. Then a look of delight appeared on his face. Wow, just one gemstone can increase charm by 20 points. That's outrageous. No wonder those nobles are so desperate to own a black diamond. Whether keeping it himself or trading it in town, this black diamond could bring massive benefits to Chao Xing. Satisfied, Chao Xing nodded and stored the black diamond back in his backpack. With this, they had looted everything in the camp, achieving a bountiful haul. "Let's go, time to head back." After saying this, they departed the camp. Then, the group climbed up the pile of boulders along the cliff edge. Thud, thud, thud. Once Dubbai climbed up from the cliff, Chao Xing's team reassembled. He glanced at the time displayed above. Time until nightfall, 1 hour and 17 minutes. Current temperature, -56 degrees Celsius. Chao Xing felt reassured. More than enough time before night falls to return to the camp. Then he sat on the back of the track robot and continued onward. The group, along with 4 machines and a mammoth, advanced swiftly across the vast icy plains. Before long, snowflakes began to fall from the sky. "It's snowing, Axing." Lu Mushue extended her right hand, murmuring, "How beautiful." Chao Xing glanced around. Although the weather forecast mentioned a light snowfall, in this snowfield, even a light snowfall was akin to heavy snow on Blue Star. Whoosh! The cold wind howled, and temperatures plummeted. Snowflakes flew thickly, turning the scene into a vast expanse of whiteness, making it hard to discern directions. Fortunately, Chao Xing had a small map feature provided by the system. Under his guidance, the team moved steadily against the snowstorm. Before long, they saw their camp's location. From afar, they could see a large bonfire blazing. Snowflakes drifted near the bonfire, quickly melted by the heat it emitted. In contrast to the blanket of white outside, Chao Xing's camp seemed like an independent world in a sea of snow. At this moment, the polar people were tirelessly working under the heavy snowfall. Lu Mushue remarked, "Axing, our territory has expanded quite a bit, and there are many more structures." She seemed a little excited. After all, it was the territory of her and Chao Xing. Chao Xing nodded, noticing the changes in their territory as well. Compared to when they left, the territory area had increased significantly. This meant that during this time, Dazhuang and the others had upgraded the campfire by at least 2 levels. Moreover, there were many more small shelters within the territory. The blacksmith shop, cafeteria, had all been built. "Let's go back to camp." Chao Xing and his team gradually approached. The polar people noticed the large group approaching in the snow from afar. Their eyes filled with caution and wariness. But when they saw Chao Xing sitting on the track robot, their pupils widened in surprise. "Oh dear, it's the Lord. How did he bring back so many creatures so quickly? Oh my, even a mammoth. How did the Lord manage to tame such a sacred creature?" These polar people were utterly shocked to see Chao Xing return from a trip with so many powerful creatures. Simultaneously, all the subjects stopped their work, standing respectfully together in anticipation. Standing out among them, wearing tight jeans with a tall figure, Xiaoyani exuded a rich sense of maturity, like a ripe peach. Holding Tong Chuchu's hand, Xiaoyani nervously watched the large creatures beside Chao Xing. Chao Xing jumped down from the track robot and asked, "Dazhuang, did anything happen while I was away?" Dazhuang hurriedly came forward and reported, "Lord, nothing special happened. Everyone has been working diligently. Except that, around noon, a few frost goblins tried to attack us but were shot down by Lady Yelena and the powerful elemental arrow tower." Chao Xing nodded at this. Frost goblins were a common type of monster in the wild. These wild creatures couldn't enter the territory, but could target workers outside the territory. Thankfully, before leaving, Chao Xing had left Yelena to guard the territory and had built an elemental arrow tower. Chao Xing looked at Snake Man Yelena beside him and said, "Yelena, well done." Yelena twisted her body, sticking out a crimson tongue, and said, "Happy to serve you, my lord." Dazhuang respectfully handed over several blue stones, saying, "Lord, these are what fell from the goblins, containing a magical aura." Chao Xing accepted them. Obtained Ice Crystal Stone *4. Ice Crystal Stone, green, a stone that bursts out from certain ice element monsters, containing a strong frost ice aura, usable for constructing special buildings or forging certain ice attribute equipment. Chao Xing's eyes lit up. "Oh, it's this kind of stone?" Satisfied, Chao Xing nodded and stored the black diamond back in his backpack. With this, they had looted everything in the camp, achieving a bountiful haul. "Let's go, time to head back." After saying this, they departed the camp. Then, the group climbed up the pile of boulders along the cliff edge. Thud, thud, thud. Once Dubbai climbed up from the cliff, Chao Xing's team reassembled. He glanced at the time displayed above. Time until nightfall, 1 hour and 17 minutes. Current temperature, -56 degrees Celsius. Chao Xing felt reassured. More than enough time before night falls to return to the camp. Then he sat on the back of the track robot and continued onward. The group, along with 4 machines and a mammoth, advanced swiftly across the vast icy plains. Before long, snowflakes began to fall from the sky. "It's snowing, axing." Lu Muxiue extended her right hand, murmuring, "How beautiful." Chao Xing glanced around. Although the weather forecast mentioned a light snowfall, in this snowfield, even a light snowfall was akin to heavy snow on Blue Star. Whoosh! The cold wind howled, and temperatures plummeted. Snowflakes flew thickly, turning the scene into a vast expanse of whiteness, making it hard to discern directions. Fortunately, Chao Xing had a small map feature provided by the system. Under his guidance, the team moved steadily against the snowstorm. Before long, they saw their camp's location. From afar, they could see a large bonfire blazing. Snowflakes drifted near the bonfire, quickly melted by the heat it emitted. In contrast to the blanket of white outside, Chao Xing's camp seemed like an independent world in a sea of snow. At this moment, the polar people were tirelessly working under the heavy snowfall. Lu Muxiue remarked, "Axing, our territory has expanded quite a bit, and there are many more structures." She seemed a little excited. After all, it was the territory of her and Chao Xing. Chao Xing nodded, noticing the changes in their territory as well. Compared to when they left, the territory area had increased significantly. This meant that during this time, Dazhuang and the others had upgraded the campfire by at least 2 levels. Moreover, there were many more small shelters within the territory. The blacksmith shop, cafeteria, had all been built. "Let's go back to camp." Chao Xing and his team gradually approached. The polar people noticed the large group approaching in the snow from afar. Their eyes filled with caution and wariness. But when they saw Chao Xing sitting on the track robot, their pupils widened in surprise. "Oh dear, it's the Lord. How did he bring back so many creatures so quickly? Oh my, even a mammoth. How did the Lord manage to tame such a sacred creature?" These polar people were utterly shocked to see Chao Xing return from a trip with so many powerful creatures. Simultaneously, all the subjects stopped their work, standing respectfully together in anticipation. Standing out among them, wearing tight jeans with a tall figure, Xiaoyani exuded a rich sense of maturity, like a ripe peach. Holding Tong Chuchu's hand, Xiaoyani nervously watched the large creatures beside Chao Xing. Chao Xing jumped down from the track robot and asked, "Dazhuang, did anything happen while I was away?" Dazhuang hurriedly came forward and reported, "Lord, nothing special happened. Everyone has been working diligently. Except that, around noon, a few frost goblins tried to attack us but were shot down by Lady Yelena and the powerful elemental arrow tower." Chao Xing nodded at this. Frost goblins were a common type of monster in the wild. These wild creatures couldn't enter the territory, but could target workers outside the territory. Thankfully, before leaving, Chao Xing had left Yelena to guard the territory and had built an elemental arrow tower. Chao Xing looked at Snake Man Yelena beside him and said, "Yelena, well done." Yelena twisted her body, sticking out a crimson tongue, and said, "Happy to serve you, my lord." Dazhuang respectfully handed over several blue stones, saying, "Lord, these are what fell from the goblins, containing a magical aura." Chao Xing accepted them. Obtained Ice Crystal Stone *4. Ice Crystal Stone, green, a stone that bursts out from certain ice element monsters, containing a strong frost ice aura, usable for constructing special buildings or forging certain ice attribute equipment. Chao Xing's eyes lit up. "Oh, it's this kind of stone?" Ice Crystal Stone was also a widely used material, useful in the early, mid, and late stages. Moreover, as the game progressed to the mid-stage, a crucial defense building required a large quantity of ice crystal stones. Chao Xing nodded in satisfaction, then put it away and glanced at the countdown overhead. Time until darkness, 0 hours 50 minutes. Current temperature, -61 degrees Celsius. The temperature was getting lower and lower. At this moment, there was still some time before it was completely dark, so Chao Xing needed to use this time to build a shelter for the mammoth. And for the 4 robots, they also needed a place to shelter from the wind and snow. In extremely low temperatures, even machinery would not be able to withstand it. Thus, Chao Xing took out the medium shelter construction plan from his backpack and directly clicked on Learn. Then he ordered Dazhuang, take 3 people, and build 2 medium shelters before dark. Our new members are all big guys, so they need enough space to move around. Dazhuang nodded, "Understood, Lord." Then Dazhuang led 3 polar people and got busy. Chao Xing still had 2 blueprints in hand, one for a tavern and the other for a basic watchtower. He looked at the blueprint introduction. Tavern construction plan. A tavern can be built on the territory for drinking and entertainment. When a reputation value reaches a certain level, it will attract some special heroes to your territory. Armor value, 30 points. Durability value, 2500/2500. Occupancy area, 230 square meters. Materials required for construction: wood *150, stone *80, iron *30, copper *20, basic elemental crystal *10. Construction time, 8 hours 32 minutes. Staff, bartender 0/1, bartender 0/1. Tip: a good bartender can attract more guests. Chao Xing pondered, to run the tavern, it needs 2 staff members. And for the bartender, it requires finding a native with bartending skills to take on the role. Currently, none of Chao Xing's subjects had talent in this area. However, Chao Xing had a map of the Gale Snow Plain, marked with nearby towns. These towns undoubtedly had natives with bartending skills. Chao Xing continued to review the next blueprint. Basic watchtower construction plans. A watchtower can be built on the territory to patrol the surroundings. Subjects with ranged attack capabilities can attack from the watchtower. Armor value, 40 points. Durability value, 2500/2500. Occupancy area, 20 square meters. Building height, 18 meters. Guardian personnel, 0/2. Materials required for construction: wood *100, stone *50, iron *20, copper *10, basic elemental crystal *5. Construction time, 6 hours 12 minutes. Chao Xing nodded secretly. This watchtower isn't bad, similar to the basic elemental arrow tower, but the difference is one requires manual attack and the other automatic. I still don't have a range force, so I'm not in a hurry to build it. So, Chao Xing called Wu Zhuang over. "Wu Zhuang, come here." Wu Zhuang respectfully said, "Lord, please give your orders." Chao Xing nodded. "Your task with Liu Zhuang is to upgrade all the small shelters in our territory to medium shelters. If you can't finish today, you can continue tomorrow." Wu Zhuang straightened his body immediately and respectfully said, "Understood, Lord." Qi Zhuang, Baz Wang, tomorrow you will continue to build elemental arrow towers. Strive to build 2 in 1 day. Is there a problem? Now, the resources in Chao Xing's hands were very abundant, but since 1 elemental arrow tower required 6 hours of construction time, therefore, 2 per day was also their limit. Qi Zhuang and Baz Wang responded in unison, solemnly, "No problem, Lord. We guarantee to complete the task." Then, Chao Xing glanced again at the attributes of the campfire. Big bonfire, level 7. Bonfire effect can increase the temperature of the area within 300 meters by 10-20 degrees Celsius. Consumption, 10 minutes/5 wood or 20 minutes/2 coal. Materials required for the next level: stone *100, wood *50, iron *30. Chao Xing pondered. Level 7. After the bonfire reached level 5, each upgrade increased the heating range by 100 meters. After reaching level 11, it will turn into a melting furnace, and the heating range will undergo a qualitative change. Thinking of this, Chao Xing called over Chao Yi and his group. Then he assigned them tasks, which were upgrading the campfire and building 2 basic watchtowers. And the tavern was also put into construction. Chao Yi accepted the orders respectfully. "Yes, my merciful lord." Chao Xing also called Da over and handed over various seasonings such as salt, pepper powder, oil, vinegar, etc. to her. After thinking for a moment, he gave her some obtained food ingredients, including honey, dry cheese, and so on. Dahua held the bottles and jars in her hands with a look of shock. "This is the white gold sand the noble lords eat. My goodness, come quickly. Lord has brought back white gold sand." Erhua and Sanhua also gathered around. What they discussed as white gold sand was salt. As commoners, Dahua and the others usually ate unpalatable black rye bread daily, and even white bread was considered a luxury. As for salt, that was something that only the nobles could afford. Lu Hua, with an innocent look, stared at the 3 jars of golden liquid next to her in astonishment. "Is this golden honey? This is something even more precious than white gold sand. Oh my God, I've actually seen the legendary golden honey." The subjects were extremely excited. Chao Xing smiled. "Go and use these seasonings to make a delicious meal for everyone tonight." Dahua nodded respectfully and carried the bottles and jars like treasures into the cafeteria. For a moment, everyone started to get busy. Then, only Xiaoyani, Tong Chu Chu, and Yailina remained on the field. Xiaoyani asked somewhat uneasily, "Lord, is there anything we need to do?" Chao Xing looked at the thin clothing on their bodies. Xiaoyani was wearing a short-sleeved t-shirt at this time, with half of her arms exposed. Because of the cold, her skin was already red. Both she and Tong Chu Chu were slightly trembling. Then, Chao Xing took out a complete bare skin from his backpack. "Is this bare skin enough to make 2 sets of clothes?" Xiaoyani shrank her body, her plump legs tightly pressed together, and then she gently nodded. "Yes, it's enough." Chao Xing nodded. "Then use this bare skin to make a set of clothes for you and Chu Chu. The temperature will drop tonight. Don't catch a cold." Hearing this, Xiaoyani was stunned on the spot. She originally thought Chao Xing wanted her to sew something else, like a quilt or windbreaker. However, he said to make a set of clothes for herself and her daughter. A moment later, Xiaoyani lifted her head, her eyes gradually misting over with tears. Crystalline tears trickled down her cheeks, and she looked at Chao Xing with a wronged expression. Chao Xing froze, staring blankly at the woman before him. "Damn, did I say something wrong? Why did she suddenly start crying?" Xiaoyani wiped her tears. Ever since arriving in this world, she had been living in constant fear, always on edge. Cold, hunger continuously eroded her mental defenses. She didn't even have time to mourn the death of her loved ones. She thought she and her daughter would freeze to death in this snowy wasteland. Unexpectedly, she encountered this man. Not only did he provide her with warmth and delicious food, but now he even offered her warm clothing. Xiaoyani felt overwhelmingly moved in her heart. But then, thinking of her daughter watching nearby, Xiaoyani suddenly felt a wave of embarrassment. She blushed and said, "I'm sorry, Lord. I lost my composure. Thank you for taking care of us, mother and daughter." Xiaoyani bowed solemnly to Chao Xing. However, because her collar was rather loose, coupled with her exaggerated figure, the movement caused a white expanse to reveal itself. With just a glimpse, Chao Xing noted her extraordinarily dramatic figure. It must have been at least a 30-60, right? As if realizing her motion was excessive, Xiaoyani instinctively covered her neckline with her hands. Her pretty face turned crimson, and she lowered her head, not daring to meet Chao Xing's gaze. Chao Xing averted his eyes, uninterested, and handed the bare skin to Xiaoyani. Xiaoyani gently received it and cautiously glanced at Chao Xing. After expressing her thanks again, she led Tong Chu-Chu's little hand and entered the sewing shop. As she was leaving, Tong Chu-Chu turned her head and flashed Chao Xing a brilliant smile. Beside him, Lu Muxue softly remarked, "Axing, you treat your subordinates really well." However, Chao Xing shook his head and smiled. Providing them with a good quality of life will allow them to feel a sense of belonging to the territory. Otherwise, if they're not well-fed or clothed, who will work for you? Lu Muxue nodded silently, clenching her little fists, seemingly having learned some new knowledge. Time flew by, and evening soon arrived. Just as the weather forecast had predicted, heavy snowflakes were already falling from the sky. Except for the area where their territory was located, everything seemed enveloped in a vast expanse of white. But fortunately, they managed to construct 2 medium shelters before nightfall, for robots and a massive mammoth squeezed in. Then, the subjects gathered in the cafeteria to enjoy today's meal. It was one of the few grand meals they had tasted in their lives. On the wooden tables, bread, cheese, milk, and meats were meticulously arranged. Everyone, including the polar people, eyed it with intense longing. Saliva flowed profusely, and they almost couldn't restrain themselves from diving in. At this moment, Subject Chao Yi began to leverage his basic-level speech skill. After a passionate speech, Subject Chao Yi slowly declared, "We must remember, all of this is bestowed upon us by the Lord. Thank the Lord for his generosity, and may we exhaust the last drop of sweat for the development of the territory." The subjects were inspired, and they all said loudly, "Thank the Lord for his generosity." Then, they began to indulge in the bountiful feast. Gulp, gulp, the sound of wolfing down food filled the air. Satisfaction appeared on everyone's faces. Your territory member, Chao, enjoyed a delicious dinner. Loyalty increased, current loyalty, 85. Your territory member, Liu Zhuang, enjoyed a delicious dinner. Loyalty increased, current loyalty, 83. Your territory member. System prompts continuously appeared. Chao Xing sat inside the Lord's hut, smiling with satisfaction. Not bad. It seems Chao Yi's speech was quite effective. He and Lu Muxue did not go to the cafeteria to eat. Being the Lord, they naturally had their own private dining area. At the moment, the two sat beside a small wooden table. Looking at the table, where golden-hued bear meat glistened, they couldn't help but feel their fingers twitch. It was honey-glazed roasted bear meat, with a perfect color, aroma, and taste. Chao Xing eagerly took the first bite, and the flavorful meat dissolved in his mouth. He couldn't help but praise, "Wow, this taste is simply remarkable. Muxue, you should try it too." Lu Muxue listened and laughed softly, joining in on the meal. The two soon finished their delightful dinner. Meanwhile, as night fell, the survivors returned to their camps, and the chat channel became lively again. They either shared their day's experiences or traded supplies at the market. Chao Xing, after eating his fill, moved a small stool to sit by the stove for warmth and opened the world channel. He wanted to check the development progress of other survivors. A large number of messages appeared. Lu Wei, who knows? I've only just realized that my territory is on a snowy mountain, and below seems to be a mole man's den. I see a group of mole people going in and out every day, pulling many carts. Well, friends, we've met again. Today I report my survival progress. I found an ice river near my territory and carve an ice hole on it, then made a simple fishing rod for ice fishing. You can learn to make fishing rods from me, and the method is Mohan Das. When exploring, I encountered a group of wandering merchants and wanted to trade some weapons with my rupees. But they chased me away, Sai. Ishizaki Ikamesa. Yoshi. I killed a severely injured wild boar today, and it dropped a wild boar warrior recruitment scroll. Now I have my first level 5 combat unit, and he will help me take the top spot on the ranking list. Jiang Jinchuan. Reminder, don't just enter any hole you see. Inside, besides beasts, there might be unexpected things. 2 of my polar people fell in there. After skimming through, Chao Xing nodded. Observing the survivors' progress worldwide was more or less the same. They were gradually venturing out of their territories to explore this world. Due to the different locations of everyone's territories, they encountered varied events. Chao Xing then clicked on the 174 area channel. Tiancheng Dam. It's really snowing. I just brought back a sheep from outside today and didn't remember to build a shelter. Will it freeze to death? Song Jinkai. Bro, give me 2 pieces of mutton tomorrow, thanks. Ji Xinyue. Who passed by my camp today? I saw human footprints. Xiejiqi. I have an extra medical kit here. Does anyone have weapons or skill books for polar warriors? Wang Gang. Trade 2 pieces of iron for 20 stones. Anyone up for it? As everyone explored outward, they gathered some supplies in hand, and more survivors had built markets. They saw trades in the chat channel, discussing survival strategies. Of course, not everyone found success. Many perished in the wilderness explorations. The current number of online users reflected this. 174 area online users, 35, 272/40, 173. Several hundred more had died compared to yesterday. This world was full of opportunities, but also incredibly brutal. Some reveled while others lamented. Besides the discussions above, some vented their frustrations. Dan Chumping. Sigh, I managed to hunt a dumb road deer today. On the way back, I encountered a white tiger. It chased me for ages. Not only did I get nothing, but I also broke a leg. Chun Jing. +1, I had no gains today either. Zhang Yong. Same here. In this world, obtaining any supplies is too difficult. The beasts in the snow are so strong. Forget about climbing the leaderboard. A single misstep can lead to being counter-killed. Zhao. Exactly. I explored outside for so long today and barely reached level 2, and I'm only halfway to level 3. Those powerful monsters are daunting, so I can only hunt small rabbits and snakes. I really don't know how the monsters on the leaderboard are leveling up. The topic shifted toward the level ranking list. Huang Qi. Speaking of which, Big Shot Chao Xing is truly amazing. Level 7 in a day. He must have killed a lot of monsters today. So formidable. Su Rongfa. Yeah, we have to be cautious even against a single snow wolf, while Chao Xing is battling much stronger monsters. He seems destined for first place this time. Chun Xiaoxiu. +1, I also think first place belongs to Big Shot Chao Xing. The fastest, Zhou Bo, has just reached level 5, far behind. Zheng Yuquan. Folks, haven't you noticed Goddess Muxue is also impressive? She's already level 6, surely taking the second spot. Survivors nodded in agreement. Clearly, what drew the most attention now was the level ranking list. The rewards on the list were enough to make everyone yearn for them. At this point, a survivor named Fu Yu suddenly remarked with a sinister tone, "Aren't you too quick to say that Chao Xing will surely take first? He's only just reached level 7, and it'll take at least 2 or 3 more days to reach level 10. As levels get harder to achieve, monsters grow stronger. And if Chao Xing meets with any mishap, all his efforts would go in vain." This guy's tone was definitely cursing Chao Xing. Some in the chat channel couldn't hold back. Ji Xinyue. Is this all you 3 Heroes Association people are capable of? Can't compete, so come to the chat and curse others? Aren't you ashamed? HTML. Ji Xinyue. Is this all the 3 Heroes Association can do? Can't compete, so you run to the chat channel to curse others? Aren't you ashamed? Because the 3 Heroes Association members were often active, Everyone roughly remembered which survivors were part of the association. Without waiting for Fu Yu to speak, a survivor named Huang Qi chimed in, "Exactly. The Three Heroes Association is all talk, but besides Fong Long, none of them even made it into the top 10. It's laughable." Jiang Kaiwan, "Ha ha ha, exactly right. I think Chao Xing wasn't wrong at all calling you guys the Three-Bird Association. You're just a disorganized group." The survivor named Fu Yu said in a sinister tone, "You guys are looking for death, aren't you? In 2 days, the newbie protection period will end. Are you sure you want to cross us?" If they had heard the threat from the Three Heroes Association before, they might have been a bit afraid. However, because Chao Xing had taken the lead in undermining the association's prestige. Plus, over the past few days, survivors had come to accept the fact that they were in a new world. The previous order had collapsed. In this world, it's all about who has the bigger fist, and they could develop their territory to gain significant power. So, they were not as afraid of the Three Heroes Association's threat. Xiejiqi, "What? You Three Heroes Association want to take on everyone in District 174. Zhuo Qiyun, "Exactly such big words. Ren Yuanhu, you guys have only a few hundred people. Don't think you're invincible. Gu Shuwen, I advise your Three Heroes Association not to be too arrogant." Seeing these survivors not only unafraid but rallying to attack them, Fu Yu's heart sank. Then a surge of anger broke out. "Very well, just you wait." The survivor, named Ji Xinyue, said again, "Wait and see. If you dare to come, I'll summon Ascalon soldiers to kill you all." Humph. Lu Wendong, "My centaur archers are no joke. Be careful not to get holes in your body." Ren Hu, "Brother, your attack angle is quite tricky." Other survivors also chimed in. The Three Heroes Association became the target of public criticism. Fu Yu wanted to speak again, but his remarks were quickly drowned by the flood of messages from survivors. At this moment, Fong Long also noticed the situation in the chat channel and realized the influence of the Three Heroes Association had waned. His gaze gradually turned icy. He also knew that all this originated from Chao Xing. Only by taking care of Chao Xing could the Three Heroes Association's deterrent force be restored. So, Fong Long opened his friend list and found the survivor, named Ji Jun again. "Have you tallied the brothers near that coordinate?" Ji Jun replied immediately, "Tally complete, boss. In that region, within about 30 kilometers, we have over 10 brothers, and, counting their families, at least 30 have combat capability. With so many people, dealing with one Chao Xing will be no problem." The opposite side spoke with full confidence. Fong Long nodded and added, "Chao Xing reaching level 7 must mean he's got some skills. To be safe, gather more brothers tomorrow. Wait until we have about 50 before taking action. Also, it's still the newbie protection period. You can't enter others' territories, so observe first. Strike only when Chao Xing leaves his territory. Aim to eliminate him in one go, understood?" Ji Jun was momentarily stunned, then replied, "The boss is always thorough. I'll handle it now." At that moment, he seemed to think of something and asked, "Boss, what do we do with Lu Muxue after taking down Chao Xing?" Fong Long listened, and a slight smile formed at the corner of his mouth. "What to do? Of course, bring her to me. That woman, back in Xiangjiang City, rejected me countless times. In this world, let's see how she can refuse me." Ji Jun quickly nodded. "Understood, boss." After hanging up, Fong Long sat in his lord's hut, looking out at the world. A moment later, a vicious grin formed on his lips. "Chao Xing, enjoy your arrogance for one more day. After tomorrow, you'll learn the consequences of crossing the Three Heroes Association." At this time, Chao Xing did not know Fong Long had already mobilized and was preparing to come to that coordinate to deal with him. If he knew, Chao Xing would probably laugh to death on the spot, because no matter how many they send, where they go, it will be their doom. Right now, Chao Xing busied himself browsing the regional channel. Suddenly, he received a private message from a survivor named Ding Liang. "Ding Liang, hello, Chao Xing. I hear you have a mechanic skill book you're looking to trade for other professions?" Chao Xing was taken aback. He remembered, before leaving, he had put a mechanic skill book on the market for sale. "Yes, I need a knight or frost mage skill book. Do you have one? Ding Liang quickly replied, Yes, I have a frost mage skill book here. Would you like to take a look? His tone was a bit nervous. After all, Chao Xing was somewhat of a celebrity in District 174. Chao Xing nodded. All right, send it over. Ding Liang quickly posted the attributes of the skill book. Skill book, Summon Frost Elf Green. Skill effect. Harness the power of ice to summon 2 frost elves inheriting 80% of the survivor's attributes to assist in battle. The frost elf has frost shell, frost ice arrow skills, summoning duration 180 seconds, cooling time 300 seconds. Seeing this skill, Chao Xing's heart stirred. It was actually a summoning-type magical skill. Coupled with his demon spider cane, he could summon 7 creatures in total to aid in battle, which was extremely powerful. Clearly, this skill book was equally valuable as the mechanic skill book Chao Xing held. So Chao Xing replied, Okay, let's trade now. The other party breathed a sigh of relief after hearing this. And then both parties completed a quick trade. Trade successful. You received skill book, Summon Frost Elf. You lost skill book, GZ Mark Robot. Chao Xing's backpack now contained an ancient book, and he directly clicked to learn the skill. Skill learned successfully. Ding Liang sent another message. Thank you, Chao Xing. Chao Xing replied, Why thank me? We both got what we needed. Hearing this, Ding Liang felt that Chao Xing seemed quite easy to get along with. Ding Liang thought Chao Xing seemed to be easy to talk to, so he tentatively asked, By the way, Chao Xing bro, I remember you still have some bear meat that can increase attributes, right? Chao Xing, that's right, but there's not much of it. For now, I only use it to trade for some blueprints or skill books. Do you have any blueprints or skill books? Ding Liang replied, Not at the moment, but I can go to the chat channel and shout out for you. Chao Xing bro, haha. After speaking, he turned to the chat channel and said, Buddies, I just made a trade with Chao Xing bro, and he still has some blue-grade bear meat. Anyone with blueprints, skill books, or equipment, feel free to trade with Chao Xing bro. There isn't much, so it's first come, first served. As Ding Liang finished speaking, other survivors seemed to recall this matter as well. Jin Yin, damn. After exploring all day, I almost forgot about this. I just happened to find a blueprint and want to see if Chao Xing bro has any use for it. Tao ran. Haha, I also got a piece of equipment from a box today, but it's not for my use. I wonder if Chao Xing bro is willing to trade with me. Sun Meow Meow. I also have a recipe. I'll give it a shot too. They all clicked on private chat to send messages to Chao Xing. In an instant, Chao Xing received a flood of private messages. Chao Xing took a glance. There were quite a few interesting blueprints and skill books among them. For instance, Underground Room Construction Blueprint, Lighthouse Construction Blueprint, Animal Trap Blueprint, Rabbit Meat Pie Recipe, Shield Counter Skill Book, etc. But what Chao Xing was most interested in was a blueprint called Frost Ice Archer Camp. Frost Ice Archer Camp Blueprint allows building a training camp in the territory to train ordinary subjects with no profession into combat-capable Frost Ice Archers. Armor, 50. Durability value, 3,000. Land occupied, 54 square meters. Oh, a specialized camp blueprint. Chao Xing's face lit up with joy. This Archer Camp blueprint was very useful to him. It could train subjects like Chao E and Chao Air into archers. Then, they could defend from watchtowers or be sent out for combat. Chao Xing then took another look at the materials needed to construct this camp. Materials needed for construction: wood asterisk 500, stone asterisk 300, iron asterisk 200, mithril asterisk 50, ice crystal stone asterisk 50, frost ice archers training manual asterisk 1. Not bad. Although the materials needed are quite substantial, with my reserves, it's entirely sufficient. The only troublesome part is the training manual. Chao Xing thought to himself, I remember these training manuals need to be dropped by killing in the wild. After pondering for a moment, Chao Xing shook his head and said, Whatever, let's trade for these blueprints first. Then, Chao Xing spent a total of 20 pieces of bear meat to trade for all these blueprints. He used an additional 10 pieces of bear meat to acquire the Frost Ice Archer Camp blueprint. Trade notifications kept popping up. Trade successful. You obtained underground room construction blueprint *1. You lost bear meat *5. Trade successful. You obtained lighthouse construction blueprint *1. You lost bear meat *2. Trade successful. You obtained shield counter skill book *1. You lost bear meat *5. Trade successful. In no time, Chao Xing's backpack was filled with 4 or 5 blueprints, plus a skill book. A smile appeared in Chao Xing's eyes. Clearly, he made a big fortune with this trade. If traded normally, these blueprints could not be exchanged merely for food. Even in the mid-game phase, these blueprints would still be of great use. However, bearing in mind that Chao Xing had food that increased attributes, he faced no competition. Thus, he managed to acquire all these precious blueprints and skill books at a low price. Chao Xing began to check the attributes and construction requirements of these blueprints. Underground room construction blueprint can dig out a 5M x 5M x 3M underground room in the territory for storing supplies or serving as a temporary shelter. Armor, 40. Durability value, 1500. Space, 75 cubic meters. Materials needed for construction: wood *20, stone *10, iron *10. Perhaps, esteemed Lord, we could change our development direction and explore underground. Lighthouse construction blueprint allows building a lighthouse in the territory. Armor, 30. Durability value, 2500/2500. Building height, 18 meters. Land occupied, 25 square meters. Materials needed: wood *200, stone *100, iron *50, copper *20, magic energy stone *1. The lighthouse can provide illumination at night. Skilled lords must learn to utilize nighttime. Animal trap blueprint, green special item, can be crafted into animal traps that immobilize prey through the blacksmith shop. Quality, fine. Attack power, 57-61. Effect, deals 120% damage to targets stepping on the trap, reduces their move speed by 30%, and inflicts a continuous bleeding effect. Crafting requirements: blacksmith shop level 1, iron *5, copper *1. Tip: small animal traps are only for small-sized creatures. You wouldn't want to use them against a giant dragon, would you? Upon seeing the animal trap description, Chao Xing's eyes lit up. This thing is perfect for setting traps. Later, I'll make a bunch of them and set circles of traps near the territory and see who dares to invade my territory. Moreover, the materials needed to craft traps aren't much, allowing for mass production. The only thing to watch for is making sure our own people don't step on them. Chao Xing chuckled and quickly clicked to learn. Blueprints learned successfully, relevant information automatically recorded in the crafting interface. Now Chao Xing still had a recipe and a skill book in hand. Chao Xing continued to examine them. Rabbit meat pie recipe. Materials needed for preparation: rabbit meat, flour, carrots. Effect: after consumption, increases life limit by 200 points for 300 seconds and slightly speeds up stamina recovery. Chao Xing pondered, does this thing count as a beneficial effect? If so, it's equivalent to permanently increasing the life limit by 200 points, significantly boosting survival ability. He decided to try it given a chance. Then he continued to look at the next skill book. Skill book, shield counter. Skill effect: at the moment of being attacked, swing the shield to deflect the enemy's attack and determine the power attributes of both parties. If power is less than the attack target, receive 30% less damage. If power is greater than the target, immune to current damage. Cooling time is 20 seconds. Use shield counters wisely, and the princess won't run away. Nice, this is a survival divine skill. Chao Xing nodded with satisfaction. Shield counter, being one of the key skills for Aurora Knights in the early stages, was also very powerful. When used effectively, it greatly enhanced survival capability. Of course, it required a lot of practice. Chao Xing learned all these blueprints and recipes. Then he intended to give the shield counter skill book to Lu Muxue. At that moment, Lu Muxue was wiping her body with warm water. Since she liked cleanliness, Chao Xing used a few planks to separate a small compartment, serving as a temporary shower room. The sound of splashing water could stir infinite imagination. A moment later, Chao Xing saw a beauty poke her head out and walk barefoot from the corner of the small room. Upon seeing Chao Xing, Lu Muxue shyly lowered her head. Soon, she slipped into the bearskin blanket and poked her head out, bashfully saying, "Axing, we should rest." Chao Xing nodded. "All right, let me shower first." However, Lu Muxue softly said, No need for a shower. You don't smell." Chao Xing was taken aback, but didn't insist. He then took off his wolfskin coat and slipped into the blanket, wearing only briefs. Warmth enveloped him instantly. At that moment, a smooth and warm body snuggled up to him. The body emitted a faint fragrance, like the only heat source in a cold night. One instinctively embraced. Chao Xing felt the warmth of skin contact and Lu Muxue's smooth touch. They both slipped their heads under the blanket. Soon, the small cabin resounded with creaking sounds. The temperature under the blanket gradually climbed. Heavy breathing reverberated throughout the cabin. Axing. After a round of cloud and rain, heavy breathing turned into a long, ethereal sigh. 1 hour later, Lu Muxue lay in Chao Xing's arms, tired and powerless. Her long jade legs entwined with Chao Xing's feet, gently caressing. After a while, Lu Muxue softly asked, "Axing, have you become stronger?" Chao Xing was puzzled. "HM? Why do you say that?" "No, it's nothing. It just felt like you're even stronger than yesterday." Lu Muxue's face turned bright red as she whispered. Chao Xing chuckled, gently stroking her smooth back. "It might be because we leveled up a few times today. Every time we level up, we get attribute boosts, which enhance our physical attributes. In the future, after dozens of levels, we might have superhuman constitutions." The beauty in his arms responded softly. "Muxue, I'll be gentler next time." The beauty quickly shook her head. No need. I like you this way." After saying this, Lu Muxue blushed even more, her body twisting unnaturally. At this moment, her thighs seemed to brush against something, her eyes widened, and her body froze. Chao Xing turned his head, seemingly provoked into a thought by the beauty in his arms. The small cabin was once again filled with sweet sounds in the midst of clouds and rain. 1 hour later, the beauty lay weak and limp. Her face was flushed with satisfaction, quickly drifting into slumber. In her dreams, she clung tightly to Chao Xing. Their body heat kept warming the space under the blanket, insulating them